Hello, fellas. How is everybody doing? I am, as always, having trouble trying to get the link out there. Some of you will be able to find it pretty easy enough. Other than that, it's going to take me a few minutes, as it always does. So, hopefully everybody's enjoying their Sunday. We are currently snowed in. Not exactly snowed in, but enough to, want to stay home. Plus, it's just cold. Yeah, Clyde, I watched that and seemed okay. Good to see you breaking out a watch to take some shots of too. Yeah, I gotta say this is it's a shitty system YouTube has of that it won't let you share everything. I mean, I can kind of get it that if people just spam everything. Junior Johnson, how you doing, man? Happy birthday. Glad to glad to see your little unboxing shots. That was awesome. There we go. Finally, after literally 100 attempts. Neville, good evening to you as well, sir. NS something, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
And having some connection issues?
Yep, it just wouldn't let me connect for some reason. But
Oh, yeah, that happens.
Hey, guys.
Bluesy, how you doing, man?
Hey, blue
I'm
shirt.
good, man. Good. Thomas.
Afternoon,
Hey.
you well?
Hey,
We're
Thomas.
Good stuff.
Rancher, how are you?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi,
Very
Rancher.
Good, Rancher. How are you?
Whoa.
Well, I decided to redo that video. Was unsatisfied with it. But real quick, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little black dial Oyster quartz up for sale.
Yeah, right.
Very
Interesting.
nice.
You got a couple of them, haven't you?
No, actually, I've got the rare birds.
Ah, that's right. The rare birds, right? Of course.
Are you
And
thinking
one
of
Oyster quartz.
Are you thinking of getting rid of the whole series or just the Oyster quartz?
I think just the Oyster quartz. You kind of have to keep an eye on a quartz watch, and this is one of the ones I can't really just lock it away in a bank vault.
Yes.
And look at, keep an eye on it every 6 months.
Right.
Yeah, might as well have somebody enjoy it too if you're not really enjoying it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's one of those things I don't want to have a whole bunch of nice watches out in a boot here at the Hovel del Rancher.
Fair enough. Neo, what's up, pal?
Yeah, we'd just
Neil.
like to say hello to
Hey,
a
Neil.
few. Neil, Geezer, Neville Grimshaw, Orange Hand, Junior Johnson, AD Never Calling, Logan Hall. Hi, guys. You
Hey,
all
Logan
right?
Hall.
I was kind of thinking 3,500 plus shipping would be more than a fair price for it.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
Well-
very good deal, Clive.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, it's like a 99, so it's the very end of the range. It's very solid.
Hmm.
And also the black dial with the gold hands and indices, you never see those.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, so
Yes.
it's that two-tone that you have on the screen then.
Mhm.
Funny that you mention it. Yes, I do have it up right now.
Where are you?
Yeah,
Hey,
so last
Tennessee
year,
Mike.
isn't
How are
it?
you?
Take
Hi,
a little bit of a
Tennessee
look
Mike.
at it.
You well?
And if you're interested in it, email me. Of course, you guys in the Farm Council, you know how to reach me. You guys here know how to reach me. But if you're watching the channel, we haven't chatted before, just email me at Clive Watch Wrangler. Wrangler has a W and an L at gmail.com.
I hate to know how the other way of spelling it is.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Well, and the thing is, though, apparently I was reaching out to some places here and there, and apparently 3,000 is used wholesale for it. So, I'll give the opportunity for someone to pick it up for slightly above used wholesale.
Very nice. And that's sapphire crystal, correct?
Sapphire. Yeah, the Oyster quartz was one of the first Rolexes to get the sapphire crystal.
How far back is that going?
Sorry?
How far back does that go that they were using the sapphire?
77, I think, because the rare birds were released right before the Oyster quartz. Because the story with the rare birds, the 1530 and the 1630, is that they got the cases and the bracelets ready before the movements were.
Oh, okay.
And the 1530 and the 1630 is just an experiment by Rolex, just to say, let's see if people will accept these new designs. And at the time, they didn't.
Hey, Rajiv. Good to see you, my
hi,
friend.
Hi, Rajiv. Yeah, hi, Bottom
Jamie
Gun.
Y.
Tennessee Mike.
Yep. Hey, Mike.
Just to say, panel, I hope you've remembered that Clive set us a challenge last week for the ugliest watch we could find. So we've got till the end. We've got until the end of the show to, if you've forgotten, to dig one out.
Oh, I was kind of thinking moving it to next week or getting it close as possible to Halloween. I think that would.
Okay, then. Okay, yeah.
That's a good idea.
That's
fair enough.
Yeah, that's okay. I already found mine. Mine is one that I've seen in the wild, and it was.
Oh boy!
It was so ugly that I had to get home, even though I didn't know what it was. I had to get home and Google it, try to find it, even though I didn't know the brand. I didn't know the brand. I didn't know the model. I didn't know anything, but it was so bad that I had to find it. And I'll just say this. It was so bad that I was able to describe it, and I found it right away. That's just how bad it was.
Wow.
ID guy, how you doing, man?
Hey, ID guy.
Hey, ID guy.
It's great to be here.
ID guy,
Welcome, everyone.
well.
Squale.
I'm alive. Luckily, I'm alive. That show was a monster.
Yes, fresh off the 4-hour marathon yesterday.
Good God, it was a monster, but it was a lot of fun. You forget the time as you roll through it, but yeah, it was a biggie. I can say that much. Protein shakes help the next day. Protein shakes and coffee. That's what I've been. That's my diet now. Basically, I'm on one right now.
You just amaze me how you can talk for 4 hours intelligently, clearly.
No, don't use those. No adverbs.
And make it entertaining. I tip my hat to you, sir.
I thank you all for actually sticking out with me for that 4-hour period. I mean, that is just, how is that possible? That's what I want to know, honestly.
By sticking out.
No, Clive. No innuendos. No, not sticking out that way. Sticking with me. You were on fire, Clive, I must say. They were freaking brilliant yesterday.
Actually, NS something was bringing the. I did a little
after stream, after party. Got it.
Yeah. NS something was bringing. He was.
Well, I'll say this: there was a lot of material to work with. I'll just put it that way. So.
Yeah, you were on fire last night,
yes,
NS. Absolutely.
I'll just say this: you could cut the autism with a knife yesterday.
Oh damn, man.
Oh.
Right.
Well, before autism became a known thing, we just called them social retards.
Yes,
seems a little more appropriate.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on yesterday. Yeah.
I also learned yesterday was not Archie's birthday.
It's the 23rd or something, isn't it?
23rd, yep.
What is with us and our birthdays? Junior's on the 21st.
Correct.
I'm on the 22nd of November.
Oh, nice.
Archie's on the 23rd. Are we like all 20s babies in and around that end of the month? kind of scheme. Interesting.
November 1st. Well, because here's why. Because January and February are usually cold months in the Northern Hemisphere.
Exactly.
There's usually a bit of a celebrating going on around that time of year as well, isn't there?
Yep.
No, that's because my parents didn't have cable TV, so.
Well, all I can say, ladies and gents, this Tudor Black Bay navy blue.
Oh, Showcases. Yeah.
It's a stellar machine. Have to thank Showcase. If he is in the chat, I'd have to thank him.
Well done, Showcase.
Sent me a message on the Discord and just said, you've been bashing it a lot. You need to experience it. That's after me telling him about the 57. He picked up the 57 Seamaster, I think, as a part of my recommendation. And this watch, it's better if you put a hype aside. Avoid that as much as possible. This watch is better than they say. It is pretty something. It's one of those watches you can put on for 4 days and forget you're wearing it. And it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous for that reason.
Look, it's like I told Showcase, right? I think it's a beautiful watch. I think what people were criticizing really is the whole hype around it, right? A certain YouTuber magically discovering a price list, really she was given it. She was given the info, and then every single YouTuber in Europe had it the morning they got them in the stores before the stores open, and they had a nice video already produced
with one prepared. I know, and I was left out. Feel very deflated.
How long does it take ID guy to produce a video? You don't do that in 1 second, right?
No. It really, if we're doing footage and everything else, it's at least a full day's worth of preparation work before even the editing starts.
So what you're saying is that if the video was ready at 8 a.m. in the morning, local time, when the watch was released,
they had the entire weekend to prepare it and get it done.
So I think that's what people were joking about, right? I think it's a nice watch. It's a cool watch.
No,
it's sterile.
ID guy, what I want to know is how would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 Squales?
It definitely pips the Squale. But just a tad, just a little bit. I mean, when it comes to uniqueness, Squale has it in spades. Like you can't come close to this watch. The downside is that this is just too sterile and basic to compete with Squale.
But how does the Squale scale work? Is it worse the more Squale?
The more Squale is the worst.
Is it better? Yeah, the worst.
I would say one Squale. One Squale. You could be getting up in those numbers. Yeah.
Now, if the hands were completely differently sized, made out of completely different materials, that would increase the Squale scale, obviously.
Yes, sure would. And if you wanted to increase the scale more, maybe incorporate snowflake dial on this piece would make quite a difference too. A little bit more of a uniqueness element that the Squale has that this doesn't.
Right. NS is right. I think a lot of people were turned off just by all the hype surrounded this. I mean, I think it's a nice looking watch. I love blue, but I think the most important thing about this watch is that it made the rancher forget about his absolute loathing and hatred of snowflake hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange animal. I mean, I've only had it for like 4 days, and it's taken it off the wrist now. I'm rocking the Explorer again to try and rekindle the love there. But the Explorer, I just haven't connected with this modern Explorer. Not as much as with the Tudor, which is bizarre. We're looking at prices and the brands and everything else. Just simple things like the faceting on the edge of the case on this watch. Why can't they do that with these modern Rolexes? The facets was just such an awesome element to the 5-digit references that they've lost.
Well, all they'd have to do is pick the square indices, and it's just like, okay, there's your new sub, Tudor sub. Shut the hell up.
Yeah. Exactly, and they have that ace up their sleeves. They're going to do it eventually.
I kind of feel like that was a missed opportunity with the 58 series, though. Right? That would have been great. Look, it looks great on the Pelagos. I know I'm biased. I have one, but if this had the snowflake dial, this would also be what a lot of people have wanted.
Yes,
which is a smaller Pelagos. Yeah. It looks great.
What's very interesting as well is that the Pelagos has more of a much lighter, I wouldn't say much lighter, but it's a brighter shade of blue. This is this. I almost like to call it a gray blue in a way. It kind of
It's a little
matches.
muted. It's a
Yeah,
little
it
muted.
matches. It matches the gray blue of eyes. It's not as bright as you would expect, and in certain lights, of course.
Yeah, the Black Bay blue is more of a classic blue that you'd expect on a blue watch.
Like a 7016. I mean, I've handled the originals, and they are freaking stunning. This does a pretty good job.
Great stuff.
Very nice. Well, again, a big shout out and a thank you to Showcase Watches.
Yeah,
for
well, great to
lending
have him
that
here.
in.
Would be awesome to have him here so we can chat a bit more about it if he's around. He's probably, it's a Sunday, he's busy, as is. It's like 7:15 in the UK. It's just dinner time, basically. So yeah,
Maybe having dinner, yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out who this other YouTube watch channel is you're talking about. You don't want to say her name. Could you describe her cup size?
She has a German accent.
Okay. Okay. The correct answer is therefore a cup. Okay, got it.
She even had the. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
She reminds
the
me
whole-
of Kristen Wiig playing Bjork on Saturday Night Live, and she even had the buns in her hair. The last video I watched.
The whole story about the price list saying, well, they made a mistake. It's in the price list because, they don't update the price list during the year. Really? Have you heard of emails?
Right.
This is a very good question. I'm sorry to interrupt, guys. Neo mentions to each of the hosts which was your favorite watch from yesterday's stream. From the stream. I don't know if you all saw it, but
I kept tuning in and out. I do really, really like Russell's Ulysse Nardin, that one that he
with an ETA movement. That's an amazing story.
To me, it's really cool because it's one of those like really, really high-end, high horology watches, but not from like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It has a bit of age, not too much. It's a little bit funky, not too much. I find it's really cool.
And what the background to that, I mean, there's a full-on book, like a coffee table-sized book on the 3 models that they brought out. It was some crazy anniversary, 200th anniversary that they basically published, and they cover the depth to these watches. It takes you years to learn about all these little aspects. It's fascinating. Really is eye-opening.
I'm still trying to make it in my mind. It was either, for me, it was there's a few. It was either the Polar Explorer, possibly the Polar Explorer, or maybe the Polar Explorer.
Oh my God, there were like 7 of them. I know.
There were quite a few Polar Explorers.
I quite like the Anycar Sherpa that you had on.
Yeah, that was a surprise too, right at the end.
That was a nice one, yeah.
Compressor, yeah.
The compressor case, yeah.
I got into looking at those yesterday after the show, and like that's a brand that I'd never heard of until a week ago. And those graphing Sherpas, those go for a hell of a penny.
Yeah,
they're not cheap.
Getting quite collectible now, aren't they?
Yeah, because you see some of them. Like I found one locally, not the Sherpa Graph, obviously. I don't even know what the model was. $150 for.
Jeepers.
Really?
Yeah. And,
wow.
Obviously a few years old, but nice shape. Everything about it was pretty good.
Snap it up, Zippo. Snap it up.
I probably will grab that. Actually, I'm not sure on the size of it. I'm sure it's going to be pretty small, but
now, did you find it in a car, or did you actually find a Sherpa?
It makes more sense for $150. It makes more sense to find an actual Sherpa. I don't know, Blue Shirt. Do you have any winners? You're wearing it, so I guess that's your winner of the show.
Well, other than mine, so I'm slightly biased, but I like that Zenith on the Bund strap. I really like that watch.
Pilot, that was amazing from the 50s.
Yeah.
And my favorite was actually cover photo watch, the Patek Philippe 5205 annual calendar. Because of
they sold his Hulk for,
the story is hilarious, and the state of the watch space at the moment, selling a Hulk Submariner with a little bit of cash, and you get into the seat of an annual calendar Patek Philippe.
Amazing,
just blows my mind.
Yeah, that was. That's crazy. It's completely ridiculous, and it
just sums up the whole hype factor around these, right? I mean,
look, I'm gonna repeat Thierry Stern's words again. Right, collectors are being very short-sighted. Being able to do that kind of move means that somebody somewhere made a terrible mistake, and it's not the guy who bought the Patek.
Yeah, he made a killing. I mean, Julian, I think I handled. He had a datograph back in the day that I've tried on of his, but this really was a steal, quite the steal of a century to sell a steel Submariner. Oh, just mind blow.
Oh, God, Mr. Rolex, when he's being interviewed by Watchbox at the end of last year, James Dowling, I think he summed it up quite eloquent when he said, logic and the watch collecting hobby have little to do with each other right now.
Yeah.
Tennessee Mike saying his favorite was Megan's Chapek.
Very.
Oh, that was beautiful. Wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm afraid I have quite an archive of those. I have about 35, 40 different submissions that I've saved. So they will be coming up maybe 3 at a time every show, which will be nice. Cherry pick bits and pieces for each show. And hopefully they have some kind of harmony as a set, Might be quite fun.
I would always default to the datograph.
Yeah, I mean that is one.
How can you go wrong with a datograph?
Yeah,
not just a datograph, a lumen.
Right.
Yeah,
which is so functional. Chronograph, glow in the dark. Of course, you need it.
It's hard to say it's hard to pick that one as your favorite because it's come up quite a few times, and if you start doing that, you're going to pick that every single time.
Yeah.
Now, is Junior Johnson going to come on today?
I don't know whether he is, to be honest with you. I don't think he is. I gave him a shout out to see if he was going to, but I think he said that he was.
It's a Sunday.
Maybe not going to. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're welcome to join us, Junior.
Change your mind, I can always repost that link, and you're welcome anytime, man.
You're welcome to join us, Junior.
Yep.
And I'm really excited to get to this segment of ugly watches. I'll be honest, I didn't do my homework. I didn't do any research, but I did find I have pulled up a watch now that I've saved. So for the end of the show, I think we should cap it off with the ugliest watches we could find and talk around those at the end. That'll be some fun.
Well, here's I'm sure probably people have sent you pictures of watches that you probably didn't really care for, but I think as a diplomatic matter, you can't ever use any of those, no matter how hideous they are.
Surprisingly, all the watches that you see, it's not like I vet out pieces that I really don't want to share. I quite literally just copy paste the ones that I get sent. So generally, they're pretty good. You have to be democratic, of course. You have to share everyone's tastes. We all have different tastes. Not everything appeals to everyone, but that's kind of a part of the fun of the show is just to throw around whatever comes out.
Mine, again, I don't want to build it up too much, but mine is so ugly that I guarantee nobody's ever submitted it. And I can give you guys a quick preview, a quick hint. It's 57 millimeters.
Nice.
Wow.
It's sounding Invicta to me. But I'm not gonna.
Invicta would be much, much better.
Wow.
You can't even imagine what it is.
This is going to be nuclear kind of levels of ugly.
Yes. Look, I'll say this. The person, when I saw it, it was winter. In Canada, we wear big winter coats. The person had to wear it on top of the coat because it wouldn't fit under
the coat.
Yes.
So you saw this in the wild?
I saw it in line at the cash register at the supermarket. And it was so bad. And I looked
and your mouth
at
just hung open. You just looked down at your Moser and you looked back at it again, and your mouth just hung open, and you thought, "What on God's green earth?"
Yeah, I was actually wearing my geophysic, and
even worse.
Yeah, I was staring at it, and I stared so much that the guy looked at me and gave me a wink. Right? He thought I was really lusting after his watch. It was just really bad.
Well, yeah, you spat on my protein shake at that. You didn't do that.
Dan, don't give it away.
That sounds close.
Don't give it away, Dan.
It's petrol, not diesel. It's petrol.
You have the brand, but
Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, we can start with that if you guys want.
Yeah, why not?
Should.
Okay.
Maybe we should. That way, you guys know what your competition is, right?
Okay.
So
should we put links into the private chat as we go? Okay. I'll put mine in.
Yeah, I just posted an eBay link of the one that I found, and you can bring that up. So you guys, I'm sorry I'm doing this to you guys. Yeah, you see,
he hasn't shared it yet. This is gonna be bad.
Suspense is killing me.
Oh.
Make it bigger.
Wow.
That's 57.
Are we talking Jules Verne? This looks like a book that he wrote.
Well, this is 57 millimeters, and you see, like on the side there, where you have the actual dial, which is very small, and with like the chronograph.
Wow.
That's because that's how small the movement is, right? This is how big this watch is, and
this is a work of art.
Yeah, it's just
wowzers. And you saw this on somebody's wrist.
Yes,
wow.
I saw somebody who went out, bought this, and actually thought it would be a good idea to wear this. And I'm telling you guys, it's a real 57, right? You know, some watches are like a 42 and they wear like a 40.
Right.
This is a 57 and it wore like a 57.
Oh, God.
It's big. Yeah.
Are you guys the modern artwork called the Scream?
Yes.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Yep.
The figure in that artwork in that painting looks like
saw that watch.
Would be wearing that watch.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy honestly did think you were a big fan.
Well, look, I mean, I was staring, right? I couldn't look away. It was just.
Oh, and that goddamn
orange hand, 57, and wears like a wall clock.
Pretty much.
No, actually, was this guy wearing it around his neck, and was he Flavor Flav?
No, unfortunately. I'm telling you guys, it actually looks better in pictures.
Than it did in person.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Out in the wild. And look, I hate to laugh at watches. I hate to put watches down.
That is beautiful.
You have to understand this thing is huge. It's just yeah.
Why does this saying say time 1 and time 4?
Time 2, time 3. There's 3 times.
Yes,
we're talking.
Okay,
yeah.
Probably. That is a lot to take in.
Well, I thought it maybe stood for time for you to get a new watch.
Yeah. Well, look, it is a 57 millimeter quartz watch, so you can probably literally fit about 15 quartz movements in there.
Yeah.
So
the best brands are known to repeat the same thing on their dials more than once, as we know.
Yes.
So you can see that clear on this.
And G says 3 times the ugly.
and you see what it says at the top, right? Only the brave. So I guess only the brave will watch it. But do you? You can't see it on your screen right now, but I just want to point out that the actual name of this model is the Big Daddy 2.0.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah. So
only the brave. My
everything about this watch just keeps getting better and better.
I wonder how fast this thing sucks the battery life out of the battery.
Look at Jamie powered by a C battery.
Oh my God.
So look, guys, this is what you're competing with. So,
well, I came up with one, but it's I think it even pales in comparison to this. Boy, oh my goodness.
I've got one, but it's upstairs. I'm gonna have to show you later. I'm on my phone at the moment.
I posted it at the end of the chat. If you want to do it, Zippo. If not, I don't care.
I've got one. It's a little bit off the beaten track, but it might be quite fun if I can get some good some kind of good resource for us to look at. This is quite nice to scroll through.
Okay.
What does Clive have for us? Clive has to have something
No, I
exceptional for
was
us to look
actually
at.
towards the end. I was saying let's save it for Halloween, the closest one to Halloween.
Mm. And this is not a social commentary on the gentleman's music, but I just thought that this is like the height of an egotistical maniac, just to put your own image on the face of a watch, encrust it with diamonds. And I don't know, NS, maybe you've heard of this manufacturer, not Tiret, Tiret.
Nope, I have not.
Okay, well,
add a few more T's and E's, and you've got a
Kanye
disorder.
West.
Throw you in there.
He commissioned this gold and diamond encrusted piece of self-absorbed garbage for $180,000.
Jesus.
Well, so I've brought up their website here, and I'm looking at their normal watches, and
not much of an improvement, or
no, they seem to be a pretty consistent brand, is what I'll say. So
okay.
Yeah.
Again, this is not an indictment on the owner of the watch or his music or anything like that. This is just one ugly ass watch, man.
But it kind of could be an indictment on his personality.
Yes, and I'll agree with Geezer. The oil pump watch, the oil well watch, is would give this watch a run for its money. So,
geez, I'm thinking about Floyd Mayweather watches, but maybe I've been beaten to the punch here with blue shirts.
That's Kanye West, for those who are asking.
Presidential nominee.
Oh, beautiful Jacob and Co's. Maybe that could be a feature. I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to compete.
Are there beautiful Jacob and Co's?
Absolutely beautiful. It's fully crystalline, diamond encrusted stunners.
I mean, some of those winners that producer Michael picks up are just absolutely hideous.
The watch. I mean, the watches he picks up really go well with the shirts he wears. That's
right,
the way I'll
and that's
put
the
it.
nicest thing you could probably say. I mean, he's got to be their number one customer. I would have to assume so.
Well, when you say customer, you're assuming that he pays for those, right? And it's not just, him acting as a commercial for the brand. So.
True.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Blue Shirt and something is posted. What about Clive? Does he have something? Clive is probably working tirelessly trying to find something good for us.
Well, no, I also just found the article that Blue Shirt Buddha found earlier just now. But damn, I'm even doing web searches for the ugliest watches, and nothing that I'm coming across is coming remotely close to that diesel.
Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna throw a spanner in the works with mine.
There was that you could always post a link to that prototype that Archie had, right? Built for him. That was pretty bad.
This is the oil pump watch you were talking about?
That's the one Geezer
this is the one Geezer was talking about?
Oh, shit. What have I done?
Oh, no.
You're still there.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're still here. You're good, man. You're good.
Yeah, I thought I exited everything there.
And I see Julian has just arrived in the chat, which is fantastic. We was just speaking about the watches of highlights of the live show, and your one was my choice. The Patek was insane, Julian, if you're still here with us. Saw you a second ago in the comments.
He's still in there. Hey, Julian. Hey, Hans, knees and toes. What's up, man?
Yep, hey, Hans.
Okay, I've got a contender.
Oh, Clive.
There we go.
And I've thrown a bit of a spanner in the works with my one. I'm sure it's going to upset a lot of people. It's more of a commentary than anything else, I reckon.
That's a nice one.
So far, NS, you're comfortably in the lead.
Well, like I said, that watch was so bad that it actually touched me.
No, wrong word. Molested you is the better word.
Oh, wow. Wowzers.
Yeah, that's
stunning. I love that. Have that on my Harley Davidson, right?
It's like a satanic cuckoo clock on your wrist.
Did you notice that they even found a way? Like once they had done everything to the case, they still said we're not done yet.
I'm gonna choke on my protein shake, please, to stop this.
And they found a way to make the date window too small.
Right.
Right. So for the date wheel under, so it clips the one. So yeah, that's
Clive. This is a beauty, Clive. I like this.
Wow. Well done, Rancher. Well done.
Yeah.
This really does make you think about your mortality, you know? It's really just
Angie, you're totally right. It's the Temple of Doom watch.
Yeah.
It's He-Man, isn't it? It's like Skeletor.
Yeah, for sure.
Castle Grayskull.
Oh, yes, that's it. You nailed it. Wow.
With some stained glass, like masquerading as jewels.
So I'm going to take a wild swig here and guess it's not 18 karat gold.
No, probably.
Probably
there might be some kind of gold in the gold paint that was used, but yeah.
It's not even a gold-plated turd.
No. I mean, it is a turd, but
Gold-plated, no.
Yeah, gold. Yeah, gold
Like Neville says, it's a Keith Richards ring.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is just.
And Thomas, do you have anything to throw into the mix?
I don't. Well, I do later on, yeah, but I'm not on my computer at the moment, so I can't post a link.
Well, I've posted one. It's a commentary on on the subject of ugliest watches ever made in a different context.
That's going to be very controversial.
Yes, that's what I hope. That's what I hope to bring up. Just because we spoke about the Hulk prices and all of that going on, and the watch that has perpetuated the demand for steel, this one, with its many redeeming features, also is one that has began a trend that we don't know what the result's going to be as a final end result. I've said, I mean, design-wise, I look at this some days and think it's the most prettiest watch ever made. Other days, I think it's the most ugliest watch ever made. What were they thinking? What was the process? And it's just one of those pieces that I think divides opinion, worth discussing. And I know you have one, so this should be good. Like to hear your thoughts.
Do you know what I really like the most about this watch? It's when you hear people that don't know how screws work say, well, at least AP aligned all the screws. But look at the holes, right? People do understand those screws.
You have to turn it. Yeah.
They don't turn, so of course they're aligned. So I always find that funny. I think I get where you're going, ID guy. I feel kind of the same way.
Yeah. And says you got to try one on. They are awesome pieces, no doubt. I'm more commentary on the watch as a whole when we talk about the image that it now has over time, that it's received, that has been given, the status.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't tried a 15202 on, but I have tried a 15500 on, and it was solid rose gold, and it was it felt absolutely amazing on my wrist.
And the bracelet is just there's nothing comes close to the bracelet on these.
Correct.
Correct. What do you guys say to Chip Gage's question here?
Goes past ugly and comes full circle to perversity audible. Well, bulldogs have been over the last how many years? 10 or so years, their breed has really been improved. Seriously. So in a way, they're looking very cute compared to what they were like, 20 years back, 30 years back.
James Arthur, how are you, sir?
Hey, James. And Megan,
Hey,
too.
guys.
Hi, Megan.
How you doing?
Hi, James.
Hi, James.
How are you, James?
He's just muted himself. Oh, no. I can see the little microphone's been blocked there.
Yeah.
No, is that James Arthur, or is that Showcase Watches? Let me know, because I'm about to jump in a car.
Oh, that's James Arthur.
Okay, good.
Welcome, James. We've just been chatting about the ugliest watches of all time. And of course, I bring up the controversial opinion.
Has the Jacob and Co. come up yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, and to get an idea, and James, to show you how much of a snob ID guy has become, he's like brought up the Royal Oak, which is
highbrow with my protein shake in my living room chair, just sitting back, hoping that it gets people very angry.
He brought the Rolex up, has he? No,
Yeah, I have.
seriously, ID guy, really?
As a criticism, no, this is not in the sense of the ugliest in that way. I mean to say, what has happened to the market because of this watch? The demand for steel as a luxury material has really originated from a watch like this, and its status that it now has in the industry. There's a good and bad side to this thing, I think, which is also quite fun to discuss.
I think the Rolex is one of the best looking bracelets ever.
Debates in this last year. I couldn't help but notice that you didn't even answer the question.
Sorry. To what way?
No, ID guy. The question, like, what else the world's ugliest watch? Well, here's what I think about the Royal Oak. It's like, you're going to answer the question anytime. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not a lawyer, Clive. At one stage, I was thinking of becoming a lawyer, then a doctor, but it didn't work out very well.
You're sounding like a politician the way you sidestep the whole ugly watch question.
Not a bad idea. Politics is a good thing to get into, right?
Mm-hmm.
Manipulation and deception.
It doesn't pay very well though, unless you're on the side of corruption.
Which you should be if you're a politician.
Yeah, I mean,
well, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
I agree that this is a polarizing watch, but I mean, I guess there are people out there that think this is truly ugly.
I don't just mean aesthetically though. I really mean more on the dark side of what this has done to the steel world, more than anything else. The bracelet, you cannot knock the bracelet on this watch. It is the most comfortable, hardcore. It's absolutely stunning, no question.
But it's made steel one of the most precious metal.
And we just spoke about the 20 grand Hulk Submariner that got sold. That kind of thing just rubs people the wrong way.
The Hulk is the toy watch of the industry. I mean, that thing. I mean, sorry for the Hulk lovers out there. In my personal view,
Richard Mille. I mean, that is a professional watch in many ways.
Which one? Sorry,
Richard Mille as a line in general. Can't call that a toy watch.
Please
whatsoever.
don't get me started. Don't get me started. I mean, but the AP though. I mean, I'm a AP Rolex offshore lover, as you all know.
Yeah.
But there is a band that does. There are bands that are coming, which are coming very close or rivaling the Rolex now. I mean, Moser. I mean,
Streamliner. Yeah.
Streamliner. I mean, that NS would agree with me, but I mean that band is just. I mean, is just probably the closest band, if not better, than any other band that's come close to the AP. And nobody mentioned Nautilus because I think the Nautilus band is horrific compared to the AP.
Lightweight, yeah.
Well,
it is the lightweight.
I think that's a great point, right? And I think that's something that a lot of people miss. The AP, aside from being the original, I think what they really tried to do was continue the finishing and the quality of the watch throughout, right? If they were going to make a bracelet, the steel bracelet, and it really is a really nice bracelet, very well finished, very high quality, and that's something that not all companies do, right? A lot of
they don't pay attention to those details. Yeah, I agree.
A lot of high-end sports watches, and quote unquote sports watches, right? This an AP is not a tool watch, and
I'd love to take it mount. This is the perfect mountain climbing watch, I think.
Exactly. Right. So, but they just don't.
If you breathe on this watch too hard, you can cause problems.
And they just don't follow through, right, with the finishing on the bracelet and everything else. So you have to give that to AP. They were the first, and it feels like they actually tried.
They did a damn good job at that try.
Yeah. Whereas a lot of other brands after, including Patek, sort of said, well, we'll come out with something that competes with it without necessarily competing with everything that this watch has to offer.
You know what bugs me the most is when you have such an excellent watch, bracelet, case, design, everything, and then they screw up in an area like the clasp. Just as Booz was mentioning, Grand Seiko bracelets, clasps can be just a make or break it for me. A double deployant that just feels like it cost $5 to make. There was no extra thought that went into it at all. And then some brands like the Octo Finissimo with a fully integrated bracelet and the clasp goes inside the bracelet itself. It's just brilliant.
Yep. And look, we can criticize steel a lot, right? And I would obviously criticize the aftermarket price of a lot of these hype watches. But when it comes to all of these high-end sports watches, I find that at least the steel ones, pricing wise, are usually the ones that actually make sense. But when you start looking at the gold ones, the rose gold ones and the platinum, right? It's really like you're buying a normal car and gold plating it and putting all kinds of aftermarket parts on it and paying through the nose for what is just, so I'd say that at least this one in steel and even the offshores, right? They actually have pricing that makes sense for what they are.
Correct.
When we go to like a full gold, right? I find you're leaving a lot of money on the table. It's like a platinum Daytona, right? It's
right. I was
at the end of the day,
I was just gonna say, I mean, as much as I love like the platinum day, there's no way that it's worth, the amount that they're charging for it. It's just ridiculous.
Well, Bruce. I mean, Lou said they're scratch magnets for one. I mean, the only time you get really interested in going platinum or that in a Rolex is when you can't get, like, for example, the Pepsi with the blue face. I mean, the white gold, for example. I mean, and the only when I got that particular model, it was when I couldn't get the GMT Pepsi because they were selling so high.
Isn't that hilarious when you think about it?
Yep.
I mean, and they couldn't sell my AD couldn't sell the Pepsi white gold, the blue face. That the difference in the market was about $4,000 at the time at Hourglass to get a white gold Pepsi with a blue face or pay a grey market price. So I grabbed the white gold Pepsi with a blue face, and I'm glad I did.
That's just
right.
It's insane when you think about it that way. Huh? That's
and
deal.
Let's face it. I mean, the white gold Pepsi, the blue face, is a beautiful looking watch.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
The best combination of colors they've done for that piece.
But the downside to that is it's not very wearable.
I just want to give a shout out to Bottom Gun. He just recovered from COVID, so hope you're feeling better. And thank you for joining us.
Some of us have been here.
Yeah.
Which I've been there. It's, we can fully appreciate and understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
And hello, Megan. Nice to see you.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Megan.
And I want to shout out to I've seen that I've got messages in the chat from Tennessee Mike and also Junior Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello there, James.
Are you here, mate? I didn't even. Mate, unfortunately, we had a family dinner, and we
unfortunately had a family dinner. Those words used together.
Sounds great, James.
Well, I mean,
were you having roast lamb? Were you?
Yes, but Flip and Zippo always comes first to the family dinner, as you know. And you guys, of course. So something went wrong with our because we have a no phone policy at family dinner, and something went wrong with our setting of our times. So I'm not sure what went wrong, but there must have been some change in the settings in our phone for some reason because we missed the start of the show.
Oh no worries.
It's all good. We've just been chatting of all sorts of things. It's been a bit of a wild time for the last 40 minutes or so. There's no structure, but that's what makes these a joy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I've got a quick watch of the week to show you.
Yeah, get the AP off the screen. I've ridiculed it too much.
Another new watch.
There we go.
It's a Bertucci DX3 Plus. It's a great deal for $75, back to earth, away from all the APs, and this is a 40 millimeter. It's a 22 millimeter strap width. It's 50 meter water resistance. It's a USA patented A-2 fiber reinforced polycarbonate unibody case, hardened mineral crystal, and it's a Japanese quartz movement with a 4-year battery life.
Nice.
And it's a USA patented heavy-duty B-type nylon webbing NATO strap, and has Swiss super luminous hands and markers, and it's a lovely watch. It's a great quartz piece, and I mean for $75, I mean for the 4-year battery life, you could just have $20 a year and be happy with just that battery life. And
I think the whole idea of a field watch.
I'll put it on. And it's
the field watch aesthetic, I think, should be really appreciated. It should be something that gets more people into the hobby. Teenagers, give them to them when they're in high school. Let them learn a little bit more about watches then, and then from there start expanding.
You know, there's a lot of high end like divers, pilots' watches. I'm I'm drawing a blank or something, but is there a high end field watch?
Not really.
Out there? No.
Hamilton's the go-to, I would say, for most, and then
Hamilton.
Pieces.
But I
think
think
the marathon
as a field watch, this is great. I mean, I'm loving field watches at the moment with the NATO straps and stuff. And
field watches are great, and James is right. I mean, there's Marathon and Weiss watches as well are very high grade.
CWC, yeah.
Boulder.
I'm really missing my W10. I lent it to Sam, who's lent me his Explorer, and I'm missing the small, simple manual wind. It's quite crazy how you miss watches in a set.
Smiths, I mean, Bertucci have got dozens of watches in their range. I think the one great thing about a field watch in general, and I mean, obviously the price point for one can get anybody into the industry. Is that and even for the younger generation, because you know how much I'm against smart wearable technology. As I've voiced it 100 times, is that even for people who wear those things called Apple watches, which I call Apple tech or wearable technology, it's a way to disconnect. And if you're going out on a camping trip or you're just going away for a weekend, you don't need to have your tech with you. I think these are a great way into away from technology, away from your phone, and it's a great way to actually rediscover a watch. $50, $75, $100, whatever brand you decide to get. I think that there's a great way to.
There you go. Junior Johnson's wearing that watch.
Nice. The beauty of the field watch is that it was made to be so basic and simple to be used in any environment for anyone. Just pretty much the universal wearing watch, but had to withstand all the situations it was put in. So for anyone who's new to the space, it's just such an easily accessible watch that anyone could understand. A lot of the time, I mean, we find reading time very easily, but some people could struggle, and this is a good sample of a watch. If you want to understand 24 time better, those kinds of things. It just helps. It just helps in that learning experience.
Well, I mean, this has got 24-hour time on it. It's got the 12-hour and the 24-hour on the inside, so it's using both functions. So it's a great little watch, as I say, for $75. I mean, you can't go wrong with a 4-year battery life. I mean, you can change the battery, of course, afterwards, but even for the 4-year battery life, I mean, even if you get 4 years worth out of it, I mean, $20 a year, I mean, it's a great little.
Looks like the hands. I was just going to say, it looks like the hands have really good lume on them.
Yeah,
and the hands look like they're olive drab as well. I've just noticed.
Yeah, they are. They are the
cool.
olive drab hands
and the loom plots on the little dots around the numerals.
Yeah.
Really sharp.
Booster's asking,
Neo,
is the
sign
crown
me up for your militia, man.
is the crown titanium?
I don't believe so. No.
Interesting that it's a different color. Looks kind of titanium-ish.
The one thing I love that
I'll ask everyone around here. What do you guys have for shit kicker watch?
a Rolex sub,
Nice.
no date, and
Got
I
it.
have loads. I collect Microbrands. So on any given day, I could have, like right now, my wrist, Chris. I've got a Aragon Hero like yours in khaki with a khaki NATO on.
Nice.
It's a very, very good question, though. I mean, asking around that subject. What would be your everyday shit kicker, as Flippin says?
So that was just my watch of the week.
Got a Harry Winston.
Yeah, that suits Clive.
Yeah. What I love about field watches, even though I can't wear many of them because of the size, is I love the mil spec. And they're mil spec.
Yeah, the background and all, it just does add another dynamic to it, a little bit of an X factor. There's so many elements. They really are stunning, fascinating watches.
Yeah, they
Well,
really are.
We had a little poll which Neo wanted to ask the punters, which was what is their favorite genre of watch, and we can find out at the end of the show which was their favorite watch. So, which is your favorite watch genre, punters? Is it a diver, field, chrono, or dress watch? So, at the end of the show, we can find out what's your. You can put that in the chat, punters, and
I was surprised that
the punter's favorite genre.
Diver, field, chrono, or dress?
Field, chrono, or dress. Yeah.
Okay.
How about you like just mil spec watches?
How about like to what, James?
If you like just mil spec watches, which takes into consideration diver, field,
dress in a way, because a field watch can be considered a contemporary dress watch because it's no longer being used anymore. Yeah.
You're getting too choosy now, James.
No specs. No specs good.
I've always been left of field, Thomas. I've always been left of field. Come on.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Okay, so far it's unanimous divers so far. Yeah. We'll see at the end of the show. Hey, howdy from Texas. Good to see you, my friend.
Yep. Hey, howdy.
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 But couldn't divers be considered tool watches?
What term are we? If I don't think Clive is with us, but I'm sure he would like to interject, highlight what the word tool means in that context.
No, actually, I've been screaming at the computer. Then I realized, oh, I'm on mute. Now, I was wondering, is anyone aware what kind of watch that Klinger wore on MASH? And if so, would it be a field watch or a dress watch?
It was probably a field watch. Maybe a Patek Ellipse, right? That would have fit.
Ooh.
I've been sitting here for literally 5 minutes. I was thinking, God damn, I cannot get a word. Oh, right.
We've all been there.
I'm just gonna switch to my computer, guys. So I'll be a second.
Go ahead, Thomas.
Cheers, brother.
Right. I missed the show MASH.
Yeah, it was
a little bit before my time, I think.
I had a MASH dog soft toy I got from the Easter show.
Really? That's cool.
I just love MASH.
Yeah, it was a good show. They had it on repeat all through the 80s and 90s, really, at the end of the day here. So.
Yeah, there's still a channel here locally that runs them every night.
Very interesting. Are we going to be talking about these Code 1159s, the one that James has as his avatar? Because I don't know what the launch and the news has been about around them. I haven't been following them very close, but I'm really digging they're trying their utmost to get these watches to sell. They went from the Hugo Boss looking pieces. Now they've actually started exploring with two-tone options and multiple dials, and I'm really liking this.
Is that supposed to be a star pattern?
This particular watch, they're only making 5 of them. They're actually
cool.
been hand painted by a painter, and they're using special paints from 100 years ago.
Wow.
I
was just about to say raindrops, and then thought golden rain, and then thought, no, that probably wouldn't work.
Thank you for that very disturbing insight into your life.
Yeah. See, Clive, I can also be funny sometimes. I try.
You know, we've experienced that from you, ID guy.
Yeah, but that's the humor comes from the abuse. It's not so much, it doesn't come from me directly. It's more what happens to me, which is
it's channeled into you.
It's proper slapstick. Oh, that's great.
So I just put in the chat my ugliest watch for you, Zippo.
Right.
Okay, so let's go do that.
I had a look. I had a brief look on the internet and tried to look around and had a look at some of.
You pain in the ass of a website.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Had a look at some of the watches online, but this was one that caught my eye first of all.
Caught your eye or burned your retina?
Oh my god!
Wow.
This reminded me of the sort of ambulance service. You know, the sort of
looks like a veterinarian cross.
Yeah, when you see the ambulance crosses,
it looks like a tape measure.
I don't know who it's by, but it's like
wow.
It actually tells the time on Horology.
Tells the time on the tape measure, doesn't it? Or some sort of measure that goes round.
So would you call, when you call things chronometers, as in meter to measure, what would you call this? A meter?
I have no idea. It just looks bizarre.
Yeah, they sort of took a Devon watch and made it horrible. So,
but how do you really feel? It's a mess. It's a hot mess.
It's a hot mess, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't really see how you can actually tell the time on this thing.
Well, it says 10. The 10 on the 15 to 20 on the middle line, and then it says it's got another bar on the 7. I'm trying to read it myself, to be honest with you, James. I can't tell the time myself.
Put a lot of time into wasting their design, their language or DNA into creating something that nobody's going to ever want here.
Right. I was just saying, imagine a loved one gifting you this watch. You'd have to only pull this out anytime you saw this person. And
I don't think they love you.
It'd be hiding away.
Yeah, but that's a 3D render, right? I think this watch is
real.
Probably, it's probably ugly enough that they never even built it for real, right?
Yeah.
So
this is just I'm pretty sure this is just a designer wanting to put their foot down on a concept. A lot of these are just explorations.
I know a person I could buy this for as a gift.
An engineer. Perfect for an engineer.
No,
see the face.
I know a person who loves Pateks, and I could buy this for them as a present.
Well, this is a designer who wants to put that in their portfolio so that they never get hired by anybody. So,
well, it's a hot mess, but it's not an outright garbage fire.
I don't know. It's
not as good as yours. It's not as good as yours.
Yeah, no, it's not as good as that diesel. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All 57 shining millimeters of it.
I'm going to spit out that protein shake any second now. I nearly did choke twice, just as you were explaining how it touched you in something.
Yes,
that was me. I almost fell off my chair.
It really reached out to me. That's just how how
Yeah, we have
good
some-
it was. Yeah.
Jacob and Co on the screen now.
Oh, yeah.
Jack California.
Yeah, wowzers.
Oof.
It's just a rabbit hole of
Endless,
Yeah.
endless misery.
Endless misery.
So I'm
Yeah.
assuming that my producer Michael must have like 2 or 3 of these.
he owns stock in the company.
The cheapest
Yeah.
cheapest tourbillon ever.
It's a rabbit hole filled with rabbit pellets.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, NS something, have you got some news for us? Save us from this.
Yes.
Let's
yes.
get into the news.
So I posted some links. You'll have to scroll up to the top, flipping. But I posted some links and I tried to organize them. Some links are Neo's contribution as well. So the first one I thought we would look at, it's really 2 watches we're going to look at one after another, but it's more watches with the kinesi movements. So more watches with the Tudor movement, and in this case it's the GMT. And I think it's I don't know about pricing on those. They're not really cheap, but I think it's interesting to see more and more watches with the kinesi movements, and it will be interesting to see where they take those movements. So
Have they tweaked the date complication jamming issue that they experienced in the beginning? I never heard the end to that story. That was just, I think, the first models that came out, right? The first GMTs.
Yeah, the first series. I have to assume so, right? Because before you go to third parties, or else it would be a servicing nightmare for them.
Yeah.
But look, they're nice watches. It's also very interesting that they're not selling to super high-end brands either, right? I think that's really nice to see more entry-level brands come in and get good movements.
Yep. Case in point will be the next article, I reckon. Huh?
Yeah.
I think.
We'll see one in a second, but and the next one I think is cool is the same movement, the Yema Superman GMT, which is also a pretty decent watch, and again, same movement. I think that's really cool that we're seeing those more and more. So
I gotta say, Boozer, I'm glad somebody else knows what a Pip Boy is.
Yeah, I do too. I'm of that age. I'm of that generation.
And one more thing I'll say about these different watches using those movements is that they also have exhibition case backs, which is kind of cool, right?
Oh, nice.
We often don't see those movements.
Wow, that is
Guys,
awesome.
I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
So
live stream for a live stream.
So Pip Boy's like an English ladyboy, right?
Yes. That's what she says. That's what she says when she leaves the room. Pip, pip.
Is this a new bronze watch, NS?
Let me check. I'd be honest.
I think this is a Superman, isn't it?
Yep, Superman.
I really like those colors.
Yeah, it's very
The
interesting.
Yema have got a very unique crown guard, and just the design. Some of the design language in the Yema is just, really, really good.
Yeah. What's the reference of the nipple dial GMTs from back in the day? Clive, you had one of these, didn't you?
1675.
1675. It's just black with gold.
Yep.
Yeah, reminds me of that. And the faded dial also does give it that kind of vintagey taste. Also, just dig the gilt printing and everything else. They did a good job here. Nice colors. And it even has a tropic strap to it. Really, really good.
Most of the Yemas come with 3 straps: tropic, a leather, and a NATO or a bracelet.
Nice.
they you don't have to add another strap. They usually come fully equipped in their little rolly pack. They really are. They generally come in 2 sizes. So
yeah.
So 39 for the guys with the smaller wrists, and they go into a 41 or a 42 for the guys with a little bit larger wrist.
Yep.
Yeah, I like how they do the bezel lock with the crown and the shovel type traffic light secondhand.
It's the one time. It's the one time when wearing a watch.
As well.
Sorry, James. Sorry for interrupting there.
Sorry.
It's it's one time when you're wearing a watch on the left wrist that it's actually pretty cool because you can unscrew the crown quite easily. On the right wrist, it's very awkward to undo the crown while you're wearing it, which kind of defeats the purpose of having the locking mechanism there. It's difficult. So it's pretty good for a left wrist wearer.
Yep.
Or the people who wear their watch on either wrist. Look, I mean, it's got its own unique design language. The Yema. I mean, it's sort of got it's taken key features from other different designs and got their own design language. It's just, I mean, as much as I'm a Baltic fan like Bruce, I think this is just a notch above.
Yeah, it's bringing itself back from years gone by.
Yeah, and the pricing is pretty good too.
Yeah.
I think that's I think that's always the danger with some of these watches, right? You have watches that come up and they're like, I don't know, $2,500 or something, where it becomes hard to justify them over something else, right? But I think here at the price, it's a really good value proposition.
Well, they're on Kickstarter right now for their new bronze gem and super bronze and the bronze GMT or normal, and they're 54 or 58% off. Is that right, Thomas?
Yeah, the GMT model is $749, and it's 58% off retail price. It's 14 days to go left to go on that.
They only ran a 15-day campaign. I mean, the first day they raised 1.6 million euros.
Yep, that's pretty good.
I mean, that just shows you the love for the brand. I mean, we were on the lot. I mean, we spoke about it on the Clive live stream, the ranchers. People said, "Oh, they must be doing it tough. They have to go on Kickstarter." Well, you see in the article that you just showed there that they find the Kickstarter successful for them because it gets their message out quick and fast, and anybody who can raise, and I'm in the business of raising money, but anybody who can raise $1.6 million in one day from selling a few watches on Kickstarter, I think they're doing pretty well.
Not a bad formula. No, not bad.
It's 1.6 million euros in one day, and they got 14 days to go. I mean, they're probably less now. It's probably 12 days or whatever. But like, that's kick-ass. Why go to your bank and borrow money when you can be funded by people with no interest to bring your campaign to life? Why would you go to a private equity guy who's going to want 25% cut of your business when you can be funded by a consumer?
And this is using the Yema 3000 GMT in-house caliber as well. It's a new in-house caliber, and also using the Yema 2000 three hands in-house caliber on the three-hander.
And the next item on the news is also in-house news. This time it's not a watch, just a movement, and it's the new Oris Caliber 400.
Very excited for this. I think it's really great.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're kind of pulling a Seiko, right? Grand Seiko likes to do that and announce a movement rather than a watch sometimes.
Right. I like it.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they put it in and see how the watch the movement pans out. So I think it's fun to see a brand starting to have more of their movements. That's a follow-up to their, I forget the name, but they had that 10-day power reserve movement with the giant...
the big pilot.
Yep.
What was that? What was it called? It was called the Pilot or something. I can't remember. The Pro Pilot.
Pro
Pilot
Pilot. Yep. So I think it's cool news. Again, not a watch, just a movement. And they're not necessarily sharing a lot of details aside from the fact that they will have a 10-year warranty on the movement. And it does have an anti-magnetic silicon escapement. So
the questions we have to ask is then, what was the cause of this, do you think? The ETA restrictions, or were they just sick and tired of Celita and they've now decided we've got enough money to start making our own stuff?
I think a little bit of both.
Are they trying to now compete with brands like Tudor and others in the same category?
I think that on some level, I think it's been pretty established in the industry that the industry as a whole has made a shift to in-house. And I think if you want to, and this may just be perception, right? But I think if you want to move to a certain level, a lot of brands feel like they have to be in-house. Some brands don't, right? You have tons of extremely high-end brands out there that aren't feeling like they have to be totally in-house. But I think for a brand like Oris, and I don't really think that they're wanting to compete, with like a Rolex or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you look at their competitors, look at watches like Alpina, right? That are part of a conglomerate. They have their quote unquote in-house movements, right? So I think more and more the industry is shifting towards there, and Oris is probably on that cusp where they need to do that, or maybe they don't need to, but they feel like they have to. So I think it's more a question of that than because look, I think what we saw with the GMT, the first GMT we looked at a few minutes ago, there are more and more really cool third-party movements you can get today. So it's not like you can't.
Awesome hand sketches. Have a look at those.
Yep.
I think it's also perception of value is something that I think many brands are now trying to also get on top of. Because even if you are, whether or not you're an outsider coming in, or if you are someone who knows the watch space pretty well, you do look at a brand differently when you start speaking about in-house movements. All of a sudden, they do move up a tier for us, and the person coming from the outside might feel the same way. Maybe it's just their way of saying that we can add more value to our brand, what we can offer.
Technically, isn't that a move from standard horology to start going into high horology, I think?
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Strong horology.
Strong horology is better, yeah.
Maybe, right? I mean, look, you have a lot of in-house movements that aren't even strong horology, I would say. But yes, look, it's definitely a perception.
I can tell you, ladies and gents, that pencil that the person used, it's either a clutch pencil or it was just a standard. And getting that kind of cleanliness with line weights is very difficult. You have to be sharpening the pencil every single nonstop.
Getting ID guys industrial designer juices flowing showing these.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, but seriously, I mean, this is sharp. To get a sharp drawing like this takes a lot of work. Very fine hand. I'm a bit heavy-handed when it comes to drawing. This is professional. Would you say?
I got to say that like the developing a movement before you develop the watch to wrap around it, I think that's a brilliant idea. It's
from there the base caliber. Yeah.
Well, I think for that type of brand, right, what they're doing really is they're developing a workhorse movement that will fit. First of all, most of their watches are all designed to fit a same size movement, right? Like an off-the-shelf movement. So it makes sense for them. But what will be interesting too to see is if this goes into new watches or slowly replaces the movements that they use. So
I'd like to see it in their divers and everything. I'm sure that makes a bit more logical sense. It's a bit cheaper that way. and
Agreed.
just deciding to drop a whole new watch with a whole new movement. So yeah, pretty exciting.
You're going to have the problem with cost of scale and economies. I mean, you have to be a reasonable sized watch company to be able to get the movements to the price that they're paying.
Yep.
When you start producing your own in-house movements.
Well, I agree, but the thing here is what we're not being told is how in-house are these movements, right? It's possible that these are movements being manufactured by a third party specifically for them, and they were developed with their with their input. So time will tell if these are truly in-house or kind of in-house, right? So
that's why I believe there's going to be a huge, big shift to the STP1 movement, because they're very accommodating in what they'll do with their movement, with the way they dress their movement, what they'll stamp on their movement, how they'll make their rotors. And I think you'll see a big shift away from Solita. Obviously, ETA are trying to get a shift away from their movement, as we know.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see that STP, where everybody's been bagging that movement for years and years and years, are becoming much more flexible in what they'll do for in-house movements in terms of modifications.
Yeah, ABC and Neo, are you guys ready to jump aboard or what?
Yeah, man. Let's hop on. Let's chat. This is a great time where we can all just kick back.
Yeah, Neo. Jump on.
Yep. The next link I posted is a Grand Seiko, their 60th anniversary high beat watch, which is kind of interesting.
I'd actually like to ask a question around high beats. I'm sure and something will be able to answer this, but when you're dealing with a beat rate of like 36,000 plus, what does that do to components? Does it wear the components out a lot quicker?
Well, so a lot of people say yes, right? But I don't think that there's necessarily a lot of actual fact behind it. That's, people say that, but they've been reliable. There's more than Grand Seiko that is high beat or 36,000 beats per minute. You have
look at the El Primero. It's been running since 1969.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's the one I was going to bring
That's
up,
true.
right?
Very
so,
good point.
Look, I think I know Bill Sanders has that romantic idea of very slow movements, and there's really cool slow movements out there. I think if the watch is made well, there shouldn't be issues, especially since these are movements that were designed to be high beat, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's not like it was just an addition. Yeah, it's a very good point.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like a lot of, even like some manufacturers out there have played with the speed of some ETAs, right? To either make them more accurate or slow them down to get a longer power reserve. These are movements that are made for that. And, a lot of it will depend on the escapement as well. Like the Jaune escapement in the Chronomètre Optimum that doesn't even need lubrication, right? So it depends who made it, how it was made. And again, I think the El Primero is a great example of a workhorse movement, because they put that thing in a lot of their watches, and it's not like everybody's bashing El Primeros as being very unreliable movements that need to be serviced every 2 years, right? So
right. Rolex put them in the Daytonas, although they did detune them to 28.8, but still,
I didn't know that.
If they if Rolex is not going to put a questionable movement in one of their watches, so
El Primero, simply the best.
Yeah, we actually have an El Primero later in the
Nice.
In the news. So
Neolicious Welcome, sir.
Neolicious.
Also, the
Hey, guys.
modern materials and more modern lubricants also help things on a higher beat movement.
Yep.
I'm sure Clive would like to add something there.
And let's be clear, right? This is 36,000, right? People look at that as if it was like a 10 hertz crazy movement. The bread and butter of beat rates out there is 28.8. It's not like 28.8 movements are super slow compared to this, right? If the difference was, if people were comparing a 3600 with an 1800, right? Then okay, that's something, right? You're talking about twice the speed, but we're talking about marginally faster than a 28.8. So
right.
Hey,
Neo, welcome, pal.
How's it going?
Hey, Neo.
G'day, Neo.
Following. You guys are doing good. You're
You're the referee.
The crowd loves what they're seeing. We're polling in the background.
Political candidates.
Don't forget, guys. If anybody's just joining us, we've got a poll going. Just put it down in the chat. Which type of watch do you prefer? Diver, field, a chronograph, or dress?
I think most of us probably know what the final answer is going to be by a landslide.
It's unanimous so far, but
so far,
yeah, dress watch, right? That's what.
Yes, right, exactly,
Yeah, totally, yeah.
exactly.
Yes,
34 mil Pateks.
yes.
And if you're inclined,
Isn't it 36 mil Patex?
36.
Rancher?
35.
Isn't it
Getting that
60?
sweet spot.
35.
Isn't it 6 of the same watches?
All different metals though. White gold, yellow gold.
Are they really different? Is that really what he has? Because I don't really follow his show, but
Neither do I. I've just heard the joke.
Yeah, they're very much the same. I don't know how many calibers are. They pretty much are the same.
Calatravas are us.
Yeah.
it would be
Well,
to see how
when I buy a watch, I buy the same watch from one of every color dial. Is that okay?
sure.
cool.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what watch it is. But you buy the watches, right? You don't just get them on loan from a dealer and pretend you own them on YouTube, right? Because
Quiet, Dennis.
Yeah,
Quiet.
I buy the watches, of course.
well, but then that's different. You can buy whatever you want. You see, the difference is when somebody just loans them to you, you don't really get to choose what kind of watches you have. But when you buy them,
Exactly.
you
Right.
can get whatever you want. So
This is a personal achievement on me.
Collector. Hello, sir.
Yeah, underachieving. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
No, I actually put on a cat suit and go into the ADs in the dark of night and actually steal them.
you're part of that. What's that high end?
The hype.
That heist group that.
the
that's
Apple
been.
Italian job.
No, the actual real world, the Pink Panthers, right? That's what they're called.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All the Italian job, but we actually use Porsches rather than minis.
Well, considering that the Mini now looks like an
I
SUV,
see.
Yeah.
Porsche is probably a bit more streamlined. Probably get through tight as squeezing.
Seeing we're being chased by police through the streets of Paris, we've got to use Porsches. They're just so much quicker.
Then
Wouldn't you
Citroens.
use 2CVs?
2CV.
No, please.
in Paris, I would have thought you'd be using Citroen 2CV6s.
Hopefully the police are using them, yeah. Then you can actually run.
We want, come on, we want to stand out. We got to make sure that you know we're around.
2 CVs. You could outrun those things. Don't need a car.
Well,
we've got TGV number plates.
Ooh.
yeah. I mean,
TGV1, TGV2, that's cool.
some people
And
can
also,
outrun.
we've just added a couple of new cars to our fleet. We've got ID Guy 1, ID Guy 2.
Nice. What about the Squale mobile? You don't know those yet? That'll be
That's
my
next
private
on
car.
the agenda.
Yeah, that'll be my private car. Got some good ideas.
Do you think that guy that owns 5 Pateks could outrun a 2CV? Probably not.
Definitely not.
Right?
We were going to get some minivans, just for the size of it, and call them AC31 and AC32.
There you go.
Yeah.
Unless that
We have them sitting outside the jewelry stores.
Unless
These
that
real
2CV was carrying a bucket of KFC, then no, he could definitely not outrun one.
I can tell you.
I was going to say, maybe if you paint it like an ice cream truck, maybe you'll be able to.
Mr. Whippy.
Yeah.
The adrenal glands can do amazing things, ladies and gents. I can tell you. Doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are. You can climb mountains if you're being chased. If your life is in your hands, so you never know. Might be quite something to
full
film.
of lady boys, maybe.
Yeah. Close encounters.
So
Just give any of these guys a month with Megan and having a run around Paris, and they'll trim down pretty fast.
I would imagine.
So the next watch I posted in the links, if we're done talking about this this Grand Seiko.
We definitely don't talk about Grand Seiko anymore.
Yeah.
We've moved away from that topic.
So the next one for yet another week, we're going to talk about MB&F. The Legacy Machine Perpetual Evo. So they're I guess that's their take on the sporty watch, not necessarily a sport watch.
Cool. That gives Richard Mille the middle finger.
Yep.
Totally.
Yes. Yeah, for a fraction of the price of a Richard Mille.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I'll take the middle one. Which one are you guys having?
I would go white strap. That's just so cool.
Well, you have to hurry. They're not making a lot because there's a huge market for $160,000 watches. But
How much?
I think it's 160. I might be mistaken.
Oof.
When are they being released? Because I've got no watch budget left for the year.
Time to start pawning them off, man.
You've got to sell some of those.
Watches.
You've got to sell some of those escape vehicles, James.
Yeah,
I've got some Aragons if you want them.
So what's the key point of this watch, NS?
Well, it's their perpetual calendar, right?
Okay.
And it's sporty-ish, I guess.
I'll be back again.
Yeah.
Damn.
But it was basically I think they released a video about it. I think the story is that this was kind of released kind of for Max Buser a little bit, right? To have a watch that's a little bit sportier.
Okay.
And it's their really cool perpetual calendar that has that thing where it's kind of like the Moser. You can set it backwards and forwards, and it doesn't break. Right? It's a new take on perpetual calendar. And look, it's a really cool legacy machine.
And it's not like wearing a globe on your wrist.
Yeah,
it's fairly restrained.
So it's got some absorption as far as shock and where you can wear it. Is that correct?
And wet.
Yes, it is mounted, and it's funny that ID guy would bring up Richard Mille, right? Because that's their big thing, that they have shock absorption.
Correct.
So this watch does have that. And look, it's 72 hours of power reserve, right? That might seem weird, but it's an actual wearable watch that you won't break walking.
The biggest advantage is about this compared to the Richard Mille is that you can actually read it, kind of make sense of the dials and where they're placed, and it's actually semi-legible. Next to
and it actually looks good.
It looks very good.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Difficult thing to do.
Look, I think MB&F did something pretty cool. They took one of their designs and succeeded in making it sporty. I love Laurent Ferrier and I love Grubel Force, right? I love those brands, but I think their take on sports watches aren't as well executed as this one. I think they really did something cool.
Sportify could be the word we use from now on. I don't know if that's patented.
Well, this is a lot cheaper than a Grubel Force, and this is, but it is at Richard Mille pricing.
Now, I'm assuming that this is very limited production or a limited edition? Because
Yes.
MB&F never pump out watches left and right.
Yeah, there's so there's 3 colors, right? It's orange, blue, and black, and they're making 15 of each.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the orange, thank you. What one are you taking, Thomas?
Can't really think.
Gun to your head, go.
I mean, the blue is nice.
Quite like
Yeah,
the
you know
blue,
which one
yeah,
I'm
quite like
taking.
the blue.
Yeah.
Which
kind
one
of
are you
your name.
taking?
The blue, of course.
Blue. I'll go the orange in this because it's sporty. I love the orange.
Yeah, the orange is really nice, and I think it's rare to have a watch high end like this orange. So
Very rare.
Yeah, I'd go with the
Are
orange.
you the orange
Yeah,
as
the
well,
orange. You're right. The orange does look nice. I do like the orange.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
mean,
sorry,
so
I can't wear a white band on one of these, but ID guy can pull it off.
Yeah, that would be my choice. Right. I don't know what it is about white rubber straps, but there's just something so slick about black dial white strap. Speaks to me.
I can speak in a set of Adidas's with a white one of these, white Adidas's, and a set of Stan Smiths and one of these.
Yeah,
I think we'll be a stormtrooper.
The hands down favorite seems to be the orange. So
everyone's Dutch today.
It's a beautiful watch. It really is. I mean, it's just amazing.
How much is this again, Ennis?
It's only
167.
Only 160,000. It's okay.
Well, if we all buy one each, I reckon we can get them down to 160.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. I just have like about 159 to save up for. But
just imagine that someone from MB&F is watching this. Imagine someone is actually watching this, and they decide to send each one of us one of these watches. And that's like
please,
the
Matt.
crew.
Dear MB&F, if you do that, every single week we'll have a news story about MB&F. It doesn't matter if you release something. We'll talk about MB&F.
We will spruik you until the end of time itself.
Well, we didn't get. I didn't hear the rancher's choice. Is Rancher into MB&F?
Wait a minute, let me say something. Max, I love my Exa set. I'm just wanting to throw that out there. So, if you only have one, you should consider brand loyalty. It's not really your brand anymore, but it was at the time, so that's almost as good, right?
That's good.
Damn straight.
But that brings up an interesting subject, right? The price and what Steve Alec always says. It is expensive, right? Don't get me wrong, but you do have quite a few people that probably have the equivalent of this watch, but spread out into multiple watches in their collection. And would you rather have this rather than a certain portion of your collection? I know, James, that for you it's like just 2 or 3 watches in your collection or one, but for somebody who might be trading half of their collection or a third or 90% of their collection for this watch, would you do it?
Well, if they had good taste, probably.
And I mean, you can use the word versatility with a watch like this. It's quite a weird word to use, but with such a complication. But it is pretty versatile with what it offers. I don't know about the water resistance. I think Julian mentioned 80 meters water resistance. I don't know if that's what he said.
80. Yeah, they say 80, but
yeah, it's pretty cool. You got that kind of complexity on such a crazy model.
I wouldn't take this watch into the water.
No.
I
don't know if I'd wash my hands with this watch.
Yeah.
That's what you have a Rolex for, taking the water.
Correct.
Yeah. Can you imagine sending this back to MB&F with water damage?
Oh my goodness, with some seaweed inside there.
Yeah, can you imagine how
they may not send it back?
But can you imagine how much they would look down on you, right? Thinking like, this idiot, like, what is he doing with our watches?
Yeah, don't ever buy from us again.
Yeah, that's the story about the Steel Pioneer, right? At Moser, I don't know if you ever heard Edouard Milan talk about it, but he was wearing at the time they weren't sure if they're going to make the Steel Pioneer, and he was wearing a platinum perpetual calendar, right? And he was playing soccer or something with his son or something like that, and he put a big dent into it.
Oh.
And so on Monday, he goes back to the office and gives it to one of the watchmakers, and can you do something with this? And I think the watchmaker was like, okay, we're making a steel watch. So
hey,
Really?
that's called a solution, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
yes.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right, man.
Live stream.
If you think about it, though, I mean, if you look at FP John, and you look at Laurent Ferrier's, and you look at Gribble Frossies, and you look at the high end of horology, for even just some of the stainless steel models, this is not an expensive piece compared to some of those.
No, I mean, I always like to add the caveat, right? It's a lot of money, but you're absolutely right. And not only that, I think this watch is a watch where it's priced this way, and you're getting a lot for it compared to some hype watches that were never really designed to be priced what they're priced, right? Like a Nautilus or something, and they just either through gray market or just because the brand figured they could raise the prices, and you're paying close to this money for either a very simple movement or a very outdated calendar movement. If you were to take like a Nautilus perpetual calendar or annual calendar, you're paying a ton of money for a movement that's nothing special, right? Where here, I think you're getting really exceptional horology and a really cool movement, a movement that has a base that was designed by amazing watchmakers. So I think it's a really cool watch.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to fly off the shelves. I mean, it's 45 pieces at that price. I mean, the brand's not strong enough to be. I mean, there's not enough collectors, I think, that are actually still brand loyal to this brand that they're going to fly off the shelves, but they will sell.
Mm-hmm. Yep, no doubt.
I mean, I remember a day when machines would pre-sell before they were even launched.
Mm-hmm.
Nice looking piece.
So,
yep.
Yeah,
Very
really
slick.
nice. You can watch on
oh yeah, I mean, I love this piece, but even I would question compared to I've narrowed down with
Gerard Perregaux.
loyalty. Yeah, but Moser, Gerard Perregaux, and Laurent Ferrier. I mean, I've narrowed down where I am placing my investment in terms of money, earned income. But I've already got a lot of these pieces, and they're not on my hit list at the moment. I mean, that could change. This watch is certainly motivational, but I'm still going down this path of where I'm going down.
Yep.
And I can buy Laurent Ferrier, which is where I'm trying to increase my collection.
Yeah, they definitely make really nice watches.
Yeah, they're exceptional. I put them next to Moser.
This is a rubber strap watch. Don't forget, this is a watch on a rubber strap at 167K.
Yep. Oh, that's just how you milk. That's just how you milk the market. It's brilliant. It's brilliant in a design sense. I mean, how long does rubber last? And then you need it replaced, and it's just a brilliant way of return business. I love it. I think you just see it everywhere now.
Yeah,
it's still a hard pill to swallow, though. When you think about
that
amount of money,
it is.
I have
rubber strap.
I was going to say I have no clue how much they cost, but I wonder how much a replacement strap on this watch costs.
Yeah,
maybe a whole
how long
Mariner.
does the rubber strap actually last?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's got to be more than a couple $100.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah, of course.
$1,500, $2,000.
No, nothing is free. When you spend 160 grand, nothing's free, really, at the end of the day.
If you, I don't know, if you send it for service, and it's like FP Jaune, right? If you send it for like an overhaul, like a $3,000 overhaul or something, they'll usually give you a strap. So if you send this for service and pay like $5,000-$10,000 for service, maybe they do give you a
complimentary strap for you. So
yes, or
thank you.
complimentary 10% off on the strap, something like that.
Yeah.
If you buy a rubber strap for an AP, it's $1,350. If you buy one, like you can buy straps for AP, they start at $1,350 US.
I think I just swallowed some cheese down the wrong hole. Hearing that.
Bruiser, you're damn right.
Yeah. The
NATO strap. Why not just go Bond RAF NATO strap on it? You'll be the king of the hill. Everyone will look at you and go, "What?" It'll be awesome.
Well, it was with an AP Royal Oak. I mean, there's only really one watch brand. I mean, third party you can actually put on an AP, and for that you need a whole selection of tools, skills, and you're paying fairly much close to AP pricing. So,
I mean, how brilliant is that for a business model? Then you have to use our straps, no questions asked, and yours is going to break very soon. And our tools. I mean, it's like Apple, but on an extra level.
Yeah, although if you're buying an AP though, right? Wouldn't you? I know the brand you're talking about, James, right? And they have really colorful straps. But I think at some point, if you're buying a watch like that, don't you want the OEM strap, right? It's like buying a really expensive car and putting on like the cheapest tires you can find, right?
Beautiful rims.
All the cheapest alloys. Yeah, I know. I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But the particular, I buy those. I mean, I like the colourful bands. Sometimes you want to change, or the camo bands, and I buy those bands and straps. But yeah, I always buy the OEM bands where possible. Same with the Mega. No different. You can buy a $20 NATO, or you can buy a $200 Mega NATO. You're always going to buy the Mega NATO because it's better quality and it's branded the Mega. But sometimes you just want something different.
Yep. Speaking of something different, the next watch that I put in the links is a one-off. It's from Debitun, and I thought it was cool because it's a watch that's made specifically for a watch show in Mexico.
Whoa.
So it's themed,
I read about this.
Yeah, so it's themed with their upcoming festival there, right? With the skulls and everything. And if you look at the back, it's really cool.
The Day of the Dead.
Yep.
Day of the Dead. I really did not expect that. That does not scream Debithune to me. Just putting it out there. That's kind of
like the big watch.
It's a series actually. They've made other watches with that same case shape, with that same digital like complication. And they're usually all one-offs.
Ay, caramba.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty hideous if you ask me.
Blue Shirt, you'd love that watch.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it
suits
looks kind of like a bluesy though.
It does. It would suit you. It's actually
It's designed for you, Blue Shirt.
So that's something from a James Bond film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pearlescent. I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
As far as an art piece goes,
Look at that artwork.
I like it.
Who did? I mean, the finishing is not. If you go up and have a look, that you can actually see some of the gold paint has been. It's not in between the lines. It looks like it's coming off in places.
And I know you guys are going to ask, right? Because you're all interested.
Look at it around the flower. It's not finished properly. The flower's on the. Oh no.
Yes, but it's only.
You've got a better eye than us because I can't see that.
And look, you have to understand it's only 275,000 Swiss francs, right? So give them a break.
Only,
right?
Only.
You're kidding
me,
if
that's the case. I mean, my birthday's coming up. You can get it for me, NS.
Yeah, sure.
My
sure.
goodness.
I'll wear it with proud. I'll be,
I really think this should be the next Blue Shirt watch.
You know what the best thing about this watch is?
There's only one of them.
There's only one. That's it.
I think ID guys Fig Watch could be better than this.
The Fig Watch, yeah. That's still a work in progress. Still not as good as the Tigerfish.
Wow.
This is interesting. This.
I do like the case.
I don't hate it.
I like the case back. It doesn't look as badly finished. It's nice and clean there.
You don't hate it, but you don't like it. Is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's
look
nice
good on a
knowing
wall.
that it exists in the world. There you go.
I think the $275 undone watch is probably better looking than this for the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, I mean, it would look good in a picture frame on a wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Kind of that hallmark.
Yeah,
I think
is
it'll put in the back of my vault somewhere where it could maybe appreciate in value one day when somebody wants it.
Yeah, get some patina.
Really filthy rich Mexican cartel guy.
Yeah.
We don't welcome it, but we accept it, kind of like death itself.
Yeah,
Clive, that is so brilliantly philosophical. You nailed it.
That was so good.
That was on the head.
Have you got any clients that might want to, maybe buy this, Clive? Maybe for $1 million later down the track.
Not a bad idea. Clive being the owner of a one-off. Oh,
I take cash, Clive.
I gotta say, it really does shock the system.
Yes, and you probably like the band that it's on, right? That purple.
God. That looks like faux. That looks like faux gecko, faux lizard skin. I was gonna say gecko skin.
Is. Like it would go well with like lizard cowboy boots, something like that. Right?
I haven't.
Oh, that's.
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen exactly how you tell the time. Is it a jumping hour? Is it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it is.
Jump hour.
Mm-hmm. Jump hour, and then the minute is basically like a minute track. Right?
The more you stare at it,
it's using the defumed jumping hour. I'm not into jumping hours.
The more you stare at it, the worse it gets.
I was just going to say that.
Again,
Julian Morley says you can wear it in the grave so no one will see it.
And no one will ever steal it from you. No one will ever steal it either. How cool is that?
No, but nobody would steal that, right? They look at that, they think it's like I love the Bitun, right? But it does kind of look like a $5 watch. Right?
I can definitely see myself throwing down the coffin lid in disgust and hitting the earth back on it.
It is really the more you look at it, the uglier it starts getting, and then you start questioning a lot of things. Maybe that was the whole point behind the concept.
I think the DV have just really let themselves go here a little bit, and really, considering the beauty of their pieces, they have really let themselves go.
So, ID guy, I'll ask you the question that you were asked before. How many squales on the squale scale from 1 to 5?
5.
What I have to say, that any squale would beat this. Really, when it comes to presentation, this takes the cake of being. If I had this on the live show, I don't know, I would probably be like one of those skeletons by the end of it. I reckon this.
Well, but you didn't get on the show, so you don't have to find something good to say about it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's.
I can't believe this takes out the award as the ugliest watch for the evening.
Yeah, I
mean,
very well good. Yeah.
I mean, does it really beat the diesel though? Does it?
It's damn close, man.
They put a lot more effort into making this
Blueshirt is saying that with
diesel.
Blueshirt is saying that with such assertiveness. It's damn close, man. It's damn close.
I mean, think about it, right? As bad as this watch is, right? What would you rather wear? Because at least this watch, you can say, "Wow, look! I mean, it's a $260,000
one-off,
right?" Whereas the diesel, right? You're the guy wearing a diesel.
And all 57 millimeters of it.
Yeah,
and Neville says you could wear that safely in Brixton High Street for sure. No one would even look at it twice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering how much peyote and mescaline you'd have to consume to watch that watch.
It would look beautiful after a while, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Probably change. I mean, seriously, staring at it longer and longer, you start just realizing.
I think you have to do a line of gunpowder to actually want to wear that watch.
Bang Bang, yeah.
Gunpowder.
Bang.
Film,
Yeah.
isn't it?
You're familiar with Bang Bang, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm from Africa. Don't worry.
Yeah. Thing is, though, if you're staring at this watch for a long time, it means you might own it. So, do you start liking it, or do you start getting more and more depressed at the fact that you bought it?
The latter, but more repulsed, not depressed, repulsed.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Real work of art.
I think we can move on, right?
Props to the person who buys this. That's all I can say.
There's only one thing that would make me want to buy this watch.
Drugs?
If you kidnapped my daughter and you demanded that as a ransom.
So the last watch in the news section
as a ransom, James.
I think it's a cool watch because Thomas likes these watches.
Loving it.
It's the second edition of the Revival Lupin, the third edition. It's like an anime thing. So it's a take on that watch that you like, Thomas.
That is sharp. A384. Who doesn't like A384? Who doesn't like that watch?
With the Gayfair bracelet, leather bracelet, yeah.
Great case, panda dial. What's not to like?
Wasn't Dennis Moore from Monty Python trying to steal those?
I went over our heads, Clive. It's Sunday. Got to repeat it again.
I said, "What Lupins? Wasn't Dennis Moore from Monty Python trying to steal?"
Yes, yes, it certainly was.
You got it now.
Dennis Moore riding through the. Sorry,
I still haven't watched that show.
Oh my goodness, that's
you haven't seen Monty Python, James?
That's classic.
Really?
No.
Holy Grail, Life of Brian.
Oh well.
None of those. No.
Another time. Another time.
Oh, James.
Yeah, I have to brief me later, Thomas.
Oh no. You're gonna have a hard time, James.
Brian. I watched Life of Brian.
This is really interesting. I like this watch.
Right.
And the price, obviously, these you can sometimes get a discount, as we all know. But the MSRP is 9,400 Swiss francs.
At least it's not 94,000.
Yeah,
at least we're not adding. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a really it's a nice dial. The date wheel matches the subdials. So do the hands. I think it's a very well executed version of the A384.
This is 37 mils as well.
Yeah, it's gonna wear bigger because the tachymeter is not black. It'll look a bit larger on the wrist, I reckon. We used to seeing the tachymeter in black. 37.
Oh yeah, it's going to wear much larger because of the whole design, lugs, the case.
Yep, it's limited to 200 pieces.
Okay.
But yeah,
I was surprised that it sold out.
Yeah, I don't know. It got announced just a few days ago on the 16th, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out quickly.
Well, it's only 200 pieces.
Yep.
Now, is Omega suing them for intellectual property theft?
Yeah, limited editions. They're a dime a dozen. Eh?
God, if Thomas got one of these, I don't think he'd ever get it off his wrist.
No, yeah, definitely.
No,
this one's screaming Thomas Burnett all over the place for sure.
Would you go to bed with this, Thomas?
Who doesn't go to bed with their watch once or twice? You know?
What do you mean? I go to bed with a watch every single night. What are you talking about?
On occasion. Yeah, it's sharp.
I can't.
Sharp.
You guys are keeping dirty secrets. You're all. Bruce has been sleeping with that bluesy ever since he got it.
Non-stop.
He stroked it at night.
Every night.
He's got a polishing cloth next to his bed. Where
yeah. Well, I've got to look out because ID guy is threatening that he's across the street.
I'm in the bushes.
Waiting to put a scratch in the clasp.
Yeah, just
I've got my Heist team ready to lift it out of your house as soon as you take it up and put it on your bedstand.
I do have to say it has very rarely come off my wrist since I got it.
How about when you shower?
Yeah, I take it off when I shower.
Well, he says it's
okay. Now you've just given me all the info I need. I know where the bathroom is.
That was good teamwork, ID guy. See, I told you I'd get the information.
Thank you, James. Got it. We're a good team. Squale Mobile. Gonna get that going.
He said it's a polishing cloth, but we all know it's in fact, shall we say, more of a cleaning cloth.
Yes, we do. That was just code for us to find the information out we needed.
You have to keep it as very low key as possible until you hear the actual words. You're a lawyer, Clive. You should know this stuff.
Now you have me curious. What would be a
Well,
squalling?
you trained us, Clive, on the lawyer talk.
Exactly.
ABC, welcome.
Hey guys, hey Zipper, how's it going?
Hi, Assad, you well?
Hey,
How you doing,
Assad,
man?
what's up, man?
Yeah,
Hey,
not much.
ABC.
Just a Sunday evening. Hi everyone. I was just finishing up dinner with family, which is why I didn't accept the friendly offer from you, Zippo, straight away.
Oh,
But
yeah, no
yeah,
worries, man.
good to be on.
Yeah, man.
Talking about watches. Wow, you're not talking about, things that women wear and I don't know,
No, we'll get off that.
licking
We'll get
them
off
or
that.
anything.
We were just
like that.
talking about cleaning cloths a second ago, so it's
Look
even
at that
worse.
blue shirt and his cleaning
Kind of
cloth
the same
box on his
thing.
bedside table.
It's a proper sausage fest.
Now that brings us to the current topic of fellatio.
Oh dear. So, what's happening then?
We're
What's
talking
everyone
about the
buying?
Zenith and-
What's everyone got their eye on? What they're buying? What they're buying?
What are you buying? What are you buying?
Clive, what are you looking at? Clive, what are you buying? What are you looking at?
Got your eye on anything?
You know this. You know this. You know this.
Clive, you're still enjoying the OP?
I love you. You know this?
So, who in the group's next to get one of the new Rolex 2020s?
Ooh.
Hey,
Not me.
Thomas, you getting one?
Not me. No.
Bruce got
Not
it.
me.
Bro, it's for the OP?
No,
Or
he said
any of the new lineup? I mean, I've Clive's got one. I've got one. Bruce has got one.
Yeah.
If I'm lucky, I might get some hands-on time with the 41mm in the next few months, but that's about as good as it gets. Hands-on time.
I see.
So, got the last watch you showed us. This one was the NS.
Yep, that's the last of the news.
How much discount you can you get on one of these NS? I think this is a pretty remarkable watch.
I think it's going to depend on how fast it sells out, right? I think the last couple of special editions that they made, like the CoverGirl one, sold out so quickly. I'm not sure people got great discounts on them. I'm sure you could get something. So I don't know.
20%?
Maybe if it doesn't sell out quick. For the regular one, I
You
would
get it for
expect
about 8,000.
Yeah, for the regular one, I would expect you're getting at least 20-25%, right?
I mean, the CoverGirl was special because it was a real revival of the A3818. It was an actual model that was recreated in a way and linked with the Rake and Revolution. I mean, it's just a great machine behind the name too, so that's also what helps.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at a couple of watches, a few Kickstarter brands that I was going to show you. And first of all, there was this watch. I know we'd seen a lot of the Snoopy talk about the Omega
Snoopy?
releases.
What's Snoopy?
We'd had the Omega releases from the Snoopy Silver brand. And
I like Charlie Brown, Thomas.
Snoopy Silver watch. Well, if you like Charlie Brown, this next watch might just be for you, James.
We have the Schroeder.
If you click on the next link, Zippo, I'll bring up. We've got 70s of Snoopy.
Bamford.
Bamford.
I like Bamford.
Bamford, who bring us the PVD coated Rolexes. And the doing a 70 years anniversary of Snoopy, which is the Charles M. Schultz character, of course. So if you go to the GMT watch, Zippo.
Jeez, talking about a range.
We can.
I've been very tempted to buy that camo Bamford there.
That is cool.
It is very cool. Megan's been showing it to me, and I've been very tempted to buy it. They're well-priced watches, great-looking watches.
Yeah, the camo one's lovely. The green one on the second from right, but the Snoopy ones were interesting. I thought they had Woodstock as the GMT hand, and
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
That's a nice.
cool.
That's a nice detail.
yeah, they
That
had
is-
Woodstock as GMT hand.
He doesn't. He doesn't get enough love. Was
They're
Woodstock
using
a she?
They were using a Solita SW 330-1,
which is
42-hour
a
power reserve.
fantastic movement. Is it 330? Is it?
Yeah, 330, which is a 42-hour power reserve, date at 3 o'clock, and it's 40 millimeters with 11.7 millimeters thick. It's 100 meters water resistant, lug to lug width of 20 millimeters, and it's this one's, I'm not sure the price on this one. It's about £1,600, I think. This one, or no, there you go, £1,250 on this one. But yeah,
It's a
there's
really
some.
good price.
It comes in a box with the box is actually a kennel, which
see it?
is
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is
yeah.
a
cool.
kennel for Snoopy's kennel. So
I'm sure most.
If
Sorry,
you
sorry,
really
Tom.
aren't, if you really aren't interested in the connection with the moon landing, you can just go straight for the Snoopy design. So,
Crazy how much of a marketing machine Peanuts was for branded products. It's everywhere. There's so much just in the watch space. Think about how many Snoopy branded, Charlie Brown branded things there are. It's insane.
yeah, you've got the Charlie Brown
I
watch.
love the yellow and black design, Thomas. That is amazing.
Looks like the first watch. No jokes. That looks like the first watch I ever had when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I think it was a Swatch, and it was black and yellow. Same
There's
kind of
the
setup.
nostalgia for your ID guy.
Oh yeah, full on.
So we go from watches which were used by the space program for their advertising or for their connection to the space program to another watch which is slightly connected to space program, which is the Telemetry Apollo watch. Now this is available on Kickstarter and is
Dr. Bruce will say the telemetry doesn't exist for moon missions.
well, this is, if you can press the video if you want to put on this one. It's designed by an aerospace engineer and an Air Force veteran, inspired by the dials and gauges in the Apollo command module, and each limited Kickstarter edition will be individually numbered. The Apollo command module used dials and gauges with a monochromatic color scheme, which was easy to read and at a second glance. And the gauges themselves were designed so there was a contrast between the hands and the dial for easy reading, and the Futura font, after a study, was done to determine the optimal font for reading. The case is designed to have the feel of a gauge plucked out of a command module, so they say. So it's a 34mm wide, 45 lug to lug. It's 100-meter water resistant. It's a Swiss Ronda 505 quartz movement, screw down crown. It's a sandblasted stainless steel 316L stainless steel. It's at $150 on Kickstarter, this, which I thought was a great deal.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
I do like the
estimated
offsetting.
delivery in March 2021.
So Seiko Giugiaro-esque.
Yes, very much.
It's just an interesting sort of
it's very Braun. I don't know if anyone knows Braun as an industrial design house, but it looks like a Braun
the
watch.
same watch company that makes the razors.
Yes, same company.
Okay.
That's how they really got their footing in the industrial space. Toasters and all sorts of home appliances, and then lots of consumables like radios and shavers and watches. They still make them now.
I've got the Braun digital watch, which is fantastic, ID guy.
They're very good. They are very good.
I had no idea Braun made watches.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Yeah, they've got an awesome digital watch, which is just like Jetson-like.
Yeah, I'll find some, and I'll put a link in the chat for you to look at if you're keen. Just off there, if anyone's interested.
They've got heaps of nice watches.
Hands, knees, and toes. Me, I am. Damn right.
Not a bad idea.
It's a good cause.
Yeah, it is
I've
a
already
very good
got one.
cause. We had, if you remember, I sponsored Archie last year to grow a mustache, but he only grew a beard, didn't he?
You
Right.
copped out.
He did.
Oh,
I think we should do a, what do you call it? We should do a flippin' Zippo one.
Playoff beard.
Yeah, we should all get behind you and we should do one.
Yes.
Yeah, sponsor Zippo.
Yeah, grow a
Yeah, because
handlebar mustache.
I've already got one, but I think we should maybe make it a channel thing, and you're the ambassador of the channel. We should get behind you and do one.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that if we can earn a few bucks for the cause. Then by all means, I would.
Yeah,
get on board
definitely.
with that.
Good idea.
I'm definitely up for if you want to put up a thing, and we'll I'll get us to spread the word amongst our organisation, and yeah, maybe we should do you as the ambassador of the channel.
We can also another thing we can do is actually dictate what kind of moustache we're looking for here. Are we going to go handlebar? I'm thinking handlebar, the full Monty.
Cowboy mustache.
Yeah, that would be.
I grow a great mustache.
Yeah, I reckon the full handlebar. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So the next.
Well, you're going to have your work
very
cut
good
out
call.
for you to beat my mustache. So if I do say so myself.
The next connection to space we had in a watch, we had the Snoopy, then this one, and then the next connection to space was the next watch Zippo was the Wurenbach Spaceborne Soyuz Series 1, which was the next watch.
Just to add on, sorry to interrupt, Thomas. Just to add, Blue Shirt. Now that I know where your bathroom is and that you leave your watch in there, I'm gonna go find. I know you have an electric razor, and I'm gonna be sure to shave you. I'll be sure to shave you while you're asleep when I take your watch, just so you know the next morning when you wake up who it was who did it.
This is a great project too, Thomas. This is a very good project.
You can play
as
this
well.
video as well if you want, Zippo. This is
Attaboy Junior.
This is the dial is 100% pure rocket aluminium from the Soyuz MS-09.
Fucking Jesus.
You
Sorry,
put
go
the
ahead.
sound, put the sound up if you want.
All right.
I don't know if it'll work through the microphone.
I can hear the audio.
Can you put the sound up, Zippo?
No, it won't work because it's going through his input
Oh,
microphone.
right,
I don't think it
okay.
would work. It's not loud enough.
So the aluminium is from the Soyuz MS-09 watch. It's a Solita SW200 movement, which is 40% off, and you can save 391 Swiss francs off a planned retail price of 930 Swiss francs, which is available in April 2021. Or the Soyuz Superlative is also available using a Soprod Newton high-end movement, which is 44% off the planned retail of 1,700 Swiss francs.
Here, let me help you out with background music.
And D Black Edition is also PVD coated. So they're basically using the dials are made of the Soyuz.
Hold on, we have a bit of a problem here, ladies and gents. Just hold for a second. We've lost Zippo, and it looks like we've lost someone else. I think Zippo has left. Zippo's left the show. He's left us.
He's abandoned ship already.
He left from the rocket that Thomas just posted.
Oh.
Well, like playing the Soviet national anthem to figure out who the weapons are.
The anthem scared him off, yeah.
Bloody
I thought you'd gone Rocket Man on a Zippo.
It's always a possibility. It's always an option.
Yeah, so that was the Wurenbach Soyuz Series 1. It's quite an interesting looking watch. It's, as I say, it's using a Soprod high-end movement or a Solita SW200 movement. And the dial is 100% Soyuz rocket booster manufactured. which was an interesting. These are all available on Kickstarter. They've all got a couple of days to go. All got about a week to go. These watches.
I like that telemetry one, the one we saw before.
Yeah,
this.
the telemetry one was very interesting. I thought. This is the Soprod one.
This model looks a bit Roger.
I've backed all these projects.
As you can say, 13 days left to go on this one.
Are there any photos?
They're always a bit of fun to follow.
Do you find that every single one of these Kickstarters have the same kind of presentation format? Yeah.
Marketing video?
Yeah, video as well as just the backers, and it's sponsored by CNN and all of this on top. It seems like it's like a template they follow almost. I don't know how Kickstarter works exactly, but it must be a format.
They have templates, but there's about 3 or 4 companies, ID Guy, that actually help to market the campaign.
Wow.
To get a campaign up on Kickstarter, you've basically got to have 20 or 30K in capital. Plus you've got to already built your prototype. So to get a campaign up on a watch, you need 50K.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can just do a render and put it up like the old days. You really got to already invested a lot of time and money to get a campaign up. So there's a couple of companies like Jelly Pop and a few others that help you get to this point. So you'll find that there is a lot of repetitiveness in the way the campaigns are run.
Seems like it, huh? There are no pictures of the watch.
No, well, they're on the video, but obviously,
and in the campaigns themselves, you'll see there's individual videos and photos of the watches and of the prototypes in different places, and owners talking about the design DNA and all those sort of things. But the videos is what's on the first page to grab your attention. So you actually click onto the actual campaign that takes you into the bigger story. So the video is basically like the
hook to get you in. Yeah.
It tells you a story.
Then you go into the end, there's all these other individual videos and the owner and you might talk about the capital company that's backing them and why and the commonly asked questions and and a lot more photography and so forth. So I guess the video that you press on initially on the first page, you've got the couple of explainer paragraphs and the video's the hook to get you to read more about the campaign.
Yeah. You got to have a good presentation, or else somebody's going to take you seriously.
Absolutely, yeah. No one's going to commit money to your program if they're going to, if they're not going to be inspired by what they see on the video.
I mean, we've got several accounts of Kickstarter, and we pretty much back every single watch that comes on Kickstarter, regardless if it looks good or bad, just to get a feeling. Because we might be able to work with the brand that had a good idea and might be able to. And let me tell you, there's more Kickstarter watch campaigns failing than there is succeeding at the moment.
Yeah, I'd be more interested in hearing those stories.
Well, they're the ones that we like because they're the ones that we can go and reach out to and say, hey, you had a good idea, but you didn't execute it properly, so you need some help with that, and this is what we can do. But then all of a sudden, you'll come across this little sleeper brand, like a Nordic brand or something out of Scotland or somewhere where they've got a product, and you'll look at it and go, it's not the campaign is not so good, and all of a sudden, a couple of days later, they'll be at $500,000 in backing, and it's like,
crazy.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So the next one was the Zoom watch Zippo.
I may have lost. Okay, there it is.
Unless you want to click on ID Guy's Braun watch.
That's an idea.
I lost all that shit when I booted myself off.
How about a watch with someone's aristocratic family crest on it?
Yes. ABC, we need it. We need an impersonation just to.
It's iconic. I'm just chuffed to bits.
So this is 13 days left to go. This is for $139, which I thought was a very reasonable price. This is you get one complete Zoom R1 chronograph watch with a second Italian leather quick release strap.
Hey,
leather
that's wood.
travel case,
That's good
which
wood.
is the VK69 Mecha Quartz. Or you get for $239, you get the Seiko NH38A automatic version with a limited serialized edition of 500. This is the
This is
R1 regulator watch, and this is estimated delivery in January 2021, which for $139 or $230, I thought was great. That's a really interesting looking sort of regulator style watch.
Mm.
It's kind of got the outer tracks like the Speedmaster Mark II.
And the Streamliner.
Bit of a Streamliner vibe, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love the minute tracks on this.
Mm-hmm.
And they stole that stock footage of Goodwood Revival. Festival of Speed, the Revival series where they have all those classic cars going around. Looks like a Shelby.
It's got a bit of a Tag Heuer. Is it the Monza or
Camaro? There's a couple of samples. The Camaro and the Monza, pretty good. There've been a few micro brands that there was one that we had a couple of weeks back that looked very much like this with the subdial arrangement. There were three separate sets. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, there was too. Look, this is a good-looking watch. I mean, especially for the automotive people who are, this is something you would take a second look at on somebody's wrist and now what brand is that?
That's funny though. You see the way the subdials are. They look like eyes, and then the actual print underneath
that little mouth
looks like a mouth. It looks
I saw that as well.
Kind of quirky. Anthropomorphized, is that the word you use? It's a Sunday.
Interesting watch, I thought. Good for the price. And only about a couple of weeks to go left on the Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah, that rotor is pretty damn cool.
There's a few brands. I think we actually saw a Christopher Ward or another name that used the exact same rotor of the steering wheel setup. What was it? Another one that we saw the other week.
Yeah, the cars and watches.
Yeah, Bowman also had a rotor like that on their. They had a Shelby version.
The Bremont Jaguar, I think, wasn't it?
That could be it. Yeah.
Also, the Rec have done it, and also the Autodrome have done it as well. It's a pretty common theme now.
Copy and paste the steering wheel on the back.
It's the right shape. It's the right weight distribution and all that. So
yeah, it is nice.
It's a Canadian brand as well. Flip and Zippo.
This one.
Yes.
Or which one? Oh, cool.
Yeah. In fact, on Kickstarter right now, there's 2 or 3 Canadian brands.
Ooh.
Canadians are getting more into the microbrand world. We've seen, well, us as a company have seen, 4 or 5 Canadian companies who are trying to get into the microbrand world. So brighten yours and your territory.
That's cool.
Interesting.
So the next one was a bit of an interesting one, which was the Ottawac Windows series.
Speaking of which, guys, I'm pretty sure I've got to go take care of some stuff around here. So
no worries, man.
I will say bye to everybody. Everybody on the chat.
Thanks.
Everybody.
See you next
everyone. Thanks, guys, and talk to you next week.
All right. Take care, man.
Cheers.
Now,
Bye.
NS.
Here we go. Tennessee Mike nailed it. Has a brew watch vibe. That's the company.
Yeah.
Brew Watch Company.
He's absolutely
that was
right.
the one.
So this
the
is
Brew Watch
the
sensational.
Ottawac Windows series. It's quite an interesting one.
Ottawac.
And I'll be back again. One in, one out, Paul.
$300 for the Windows early bird. This is the Windows watch. You get one Windows watch, 50% off. $300 instead of $600, limited to 500 watches, and or you can get the 325 Windows Pro early bird, which is one Windows Pro watch instead of 650 $650 limited to 500 watches. This is inspired by car radios, old-fashioned radios readouts. And the dials from radios, so they say.
Well, I do definitely appreciate this video next to the astronauts and the racing cars we've seen. This shows a little bit more process to the creation of it, which is quite imperative. It's a bit more intimate. It gets people more involved, more invested.
This section of the video isn't too good, though. It's a bit cheesy, this section.
Okay, maybe I was wrong.
Introducing his...
Oh, no, don't.
Yeah,
no, you just ruined it now.
This gets too cheesy, this bit. I wanted to stop this bit.
Is he going to give her the ring next? He's going to go on the one knee.
It's all a bit sort of, I love you, I've just bought you a watch.
He goes to bed with it.
Yeah, this is wonderful.
He goes to bed with the watch instead of her.
Look at this watch. And then he sees his work colleague and he says, do you like my watch? And I like your watch. And it's all a bit cheesy.
No. It was so good in the beginning. It was so good.
To start off with, yeah, it was good to start off with, but this is a bit cheesy.
I just want to welcome Dr. Bill Sanders into the chat. Hello, Bill.
Oh,
hi there,
Welcome,
Bill. You well?
Hello, Bill.
Welcome.
Yeah, Zippo. If you
this
could
is really
stop this video, if you could.
This has really gotten out of hand now.
Yeah, what did I miss?
Hey, look at my watch. Look at my watch.
Look at my watch. Look at my
That's
watch.
another Canadian brand, flipping Zippo.
It was so good. The beginning, seeing the process and everything, just it really felt intimate, and then all of a sudden it turns into a soap opera.
Yeah, it went a bit.
Yeah, it went terribly down.
What you call it, didn't it?
That's a shame.
So that was a shame. That one.
CBC, maybe.
It's quite a nice watch, but I thought with the radio styled dial, but yeah, that was another one on Kickstarter, and the next one was the one. The next one was one which Junior Johnson has actually backed. And it's the Albany watch Amadiver.
Amadiver 2.
Isn't it the watch that we had on the live stream yesterday with ID Guy?
Yep. South African company, Cape Town based.
Okay.
Ama signature series. It's the Albany Amadiver signature eco weave bracelet, wax canvas watch roll, and bamboo box warranty card. Estimated delivery on 2021 for $325 on the early bird offer.
Nice loom.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Or you can get the stainless steel bead ride bracelet for $399.
I've backed it as well.
Yeah, it has an abalone dial and all sorts of little details.
Brett Williams from South Africa.
Yeah,
is starting this watch.
I've left a comment in there for him.
Yeah, he reached out to me about, I'd say, nearly a year ago, I think, when they were just talking about the subject and the concept. And I gave him some good, I mean, it really was nice, the initial. And so far, these watches have been handed out to all the main channels, as far as I know, all the ones that generally focus on micro brands. And yeah, they had some good feedback, as far as I know.
Ours.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's right, Zippo. You tell him.
Yeah, this one was
interesting.
Yeah,
definitely interesting.
Yeah, this one was quite noticeable.
And the case back's also quite noticeable. Don't know if they'll show it on the private. Maybe they'll only show it in video.
That bead rice bracelet looks lovely on it.
Oh.
Yeah, case back's also quite noticeable. It's a famous photograph of a Japanese diver, I think, back in the day. And there's a whole story about the history of these ladies who would go out fishing, spearfishing, and that was part of the inspiration. Lots of little cues.
You didn't show that part of the watch yesterday.
No.
Why can't I embiggen it?
It's very interesting,
you like that part of the watch, too, Zippo?
It's we're getting into the erotic kind of watchmaking in that side,
right? Welcome,
Hi,
Bill Sanders.
How you doing?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello, Bill.
Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Bill.
I got on the my other browser doesn't work with this, so I had to change browsers. So, what are you guys watching? I mean, I'm looking at these ads and things.
Yeah, that's
you're looking at watch ads, huh?
Kickstarter.
Oh, that's a great source of information.
Yeah, we've run through the news already. I think we had in something cover the news for about an hour or so, and now at this section we start looking at brands, up and coming brands, and all those elements in this portion.
And hopefully finding a diamond in the rough.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm late. I just relatives.
It's Sunday. I mean, fully understandable.
You well.
So what are some of the new brands you guys like?
We're just looking at some of the Kickstarter offers that are on at present, and some of the things that are available within the next couple of days that are coming to an end on Kickstarter.
The micro brands, new up and coming designers who are trying to enter the industry.
Well, it's a good looking bracelet on there. That rice
beads of rice
bracelet. Yeah. Hi, Megan. How you doing?
I think it's just great that it's a Cape Town based. I mean, there's no, ladies and gents, there's no watchmaking in Cape Town where I'm from. There's none. South African watchmaking. I mean, the first time I hear someone saying that they're actually making a watch in South Africa, I'm thinking, what? How did you manage to pull that off? So props to actually get it going.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully
these
guys will
get
get off
the
the ground.
watch company. It's rare.
So the next one was a Valhalla of Norway, the OKS.
Wow,
that's the name of the brand.
Thomas, you're pulling stuff from the four corners of the planet here.
Yep,
it's awesome.
the nether realm.
The Valhalla's a good watch as well.
Oh, we got Vikings.
Another Canadian watch, Flip and Zippo.
Whoa.
This one?
Yep, this is the third one tonight.
Right on.
And this is their second or third watch.
Yeah, it's an OKS watch with leather and stainless steel mesh band. You choose a dial color, which is black and red, or white and black, or blue.
Blood Eagle.
You get one Valhalla pouch and one warranty card and 2 years warranty with it. It's estimated delivery in April 2021, and it's $241. Sorry, £241 or $315. This one.
All right.
42 millimeters, 200 meters water resistance, and it's inspired by the battle axe. It says automatic watch inspired by the battle axe.
Isn't it funny that some of these
don't quite know where the inspiration of the battle axe is?
I think it's at the end of the lugs, the lugs. But it's just I just find some of these
got the battle axe theme.
Some of these campaigns are just not as, you can see that some have really been looked at a lot harder than others.
Right.
This was just literally a slideshow of a couple of profile shots and no development or process. I mean, the secret to any kind of design unveiling is to focus on the sketching, the tech drawings, the parts, the concepts, whatever you have available to share. A little bit more of a deeper meaning apart from just the final product. Something that a lot of people fail to do in this space.
These guys are going for the Damascus case.
Yep.
It's kind of like if a Panerai and a Seiko had a baby together. This is what would happen.
A crossbreed.
What kind of movements do they have?
Miyota's probably Miyota 9015s or something.
Miyota. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure what movement this was, Bill. I couldn't get the info.
I think it could be a Seiko movement. Actually, it's quite
an NH35.
I'll think
they've actually moved into the NH, the more recent movements now.
Maybe it's a hamster on a running wheel. How come they don't have the name of the movement?
They do in the specs usually.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
You're on the spot now.
Go.
Yeah. No, I've been thinking about that. There was this watch. You guys know what it is, and they wanted me to do a review of it, and I'm not quite sure what to do. So I'll ask this. Punters always know the right answer, so I'll ask you guys. There's a watch that's made. I think it's a guy out in California, and he makes them with a rose. He does the dials on a rose machine. Forgot his name. It's beautiful watches. The dials look like they were done by Roger Smith, and the movement is a UWD 33.1, the one that Marco Lang made. And so it's got a great movement. And so I was sort of, that was, what do you guys think of that? I mean, and he wants $20,000 for it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So the movement is 4,000. I know that because we priced them out. And basically it's like a $16,000 dial and case.
Wow.
It's so difficult when you get watches into review and having to be critical. It's very difficult to be on the fence with a lot of these things.
Some of the people in the chat are saying Weiss watches. Is it Weiss?
Cam Weiss?
Weiss.
Yeah, I think that's who it is.
Cameron Weiss.
Yeah.
He came from AP, did he not?
I'm sorry?
Did he not come from Audemars Piguet at one point? Back
He did the watch school with AP.
Okay.
That's right, yeah. But I mean, the whole concept here is a couple things. One, I would rather have that movement than most other movements. I mean, the movement that Marco Lang did is beautiful. I mean, it's really an incredibly excellent movement. And even though it's a movement that's not in-house, that is better than most in-house movements. And so, 4,000 or probably a little more than that, because I think it was in euros. But that's $20,000.
Yeah,
basically for work that's done on a rose engine for the Guy Lochet. Now I know that who's the guy in Pennsylvania?
RGM, Roland Murphy.
RGM, he does it too. And I sort of wonder, but his stuff is usually not that expensive. And so you have these very interesting levels. Here you have these guys that put together something and they crowdfund it and out the door it goes. And then you have a guy who he's not a watchmaker. I mean, he's making watches and he's not a watchmaker. I mean, he can belong to our group, the pretentious watchmakers, and help us. And we knock stuff together, but we use pretty cheap movements because when you're learning how to do it, they break. Hey, I got a question for you guys. I noticed that Bruce has his new bluesy. Now he's blues shirt.
Yeah.
Bluesy. Where do you get your those little icons? Yeah, that's the one. How do you get the icons?
You have to turn off your camera, and it'll kind of give you an option to select an avatar, which you have to upload.
It can just be a photo from your camera or whatever else, whatever you have saved on your desktop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or your camera, or your phone, or your desktop,
and then you can just crop it to size, and it should fit.
Okay, thanks. I didn't know how to do that, so I just noticed that was from. I used to have a Washington team, the Washington Redskins. Poor guys. I think the Patriots are finally falling into that category. And the Ranchers got a Rolex. My goodness.
It's up for grabs.
Yeah, the Oyster quartz is up for sale.
It's Oyster quartz. If you want to buy it, Bill, he's selling it.
Why is he selling it?
I can't afford a Rolex, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, gotta say. I mean, I don't know. You haven't heard this. You haven't heard the story, Bill. But I featured a Patek I can't the reference. I always get the reference wrong. Let me see if I can pull up the picture again. Someone sold a Rolex Submariner and was able to buy a 5205G. It's an annual calendar, Patek Philippe, with a bit of extra
Great.
cash. So imagine
Good.
selling a Rolex Submariner and with that money and a bit more cash to be able to afford an annual calendar Patek. That's what the market is doing at the moment.
It's crazy.
I
He
know.
milked the hype to the utmost degree. I thought it was fantastic. One of my
Yeah.
best.
That's well
More
played,
power
actually.
to him.
Amazing.
It is.
Well, I'm waiting for my resonance to hit 1 million. So
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Bill?
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a funny thing. You never. I mean, I don't buy on the basis of investment.
Yeah.
I'm just. I'm either stupid, lucky, or not, as far as that's concerned. But I don't know. I get, when I take a look at Bruce's new watch, which I really happen to like, that Bluesy's a good looking watch.
It is.
But I think that is that. So what if it goes up or down? If you can't enjoy it while you have it,
what's the point of having it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason why I got it, is because I love it.
Yeah, I know, Bruce. But there's some people that I think they put too much emphasis on the investment aspect of it.
Absolutely. That's what this platform is becoming slowly but surely. More people are coming to it because of the investment aspect and not for the they're not enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, I just received a nice text message. The package from Switzerland I've been waiting for finally hit Oklahoma City today.
Nice.
Oh,
Yes. Brilliant. Rancher.
Oh yeah, you got to get a little one of those logos on that one. That's a nice watch. That's a wonderful watch.
You want to share what it is, Clive, on the avatar? If you have a stock photo or something?
No.
Gonna do secret unboxing, aren't you, Clive? Gonna do special unboxing video for that one.
Yeah.
You don't want to tempt fate until it's in your hands.
True. Good point.
Good point.
So, Bill, we're doing a little poll with the punters, and we're doing our favorite watches, whether it be a diver, a field watch, a chronograph watch, or a dress watch. What would yours be?
Oh boy. That's a good question, because I really, 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 really like my Roger Dubuis Easy Diver. I love that watch. But this one too, my Van Cleef and Arpels, I can't say the French, so I'll just say time here and time there. The one I have on now, this one there's something about it that's just amazing. Yeah. And so, I sort of like, see, here it is right here. My Easy Diver is just a nice watch. And, I like this one. You can't see on the screen very well, but, also too, my, oh God, I love them all. It's sort of like, who's your favorite child? Right?
Good point.
Well, since we're sort of kind of coming towards the end of the show, going on 2 hours and 45 minutes. From what I've kept track so far, it was nearly a unanimous vote with 8 votes for divers and one solitary vote for a chrono.
That's me.
The second chrono guy.
No.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And one for tool watch.
I'm changing my
watch. Do you mean like a GMT complication or second time zone, something like that?
Yes, that's my vote. Dual time.
Okay.
I'm
changing my avatar to my watch of choice if I can find it. Hold on a sec.
I'm like world time at GMT, tool watch / field watch, everything.
The original idea though for the poll was not for a complication, but it was a style of watch. So you can have a chronograph that's a pilot's watch. You can have a chronograph that's a driver's watch. You can have a chronograph that's a diver.
I do love the in-betweens. I think it's so nice to not only appreciate a genre of a watch, but also one that has an insanely cool movement attached to it as well. Something with a bit of X factor.
I vote for an Earth GMT.
I think I'm a diver guy. I think I'm just into divers. Just where I
Chronograph
started.
here.
Yes.
I will drop a hint as the watch that's hopefully arriving, hopefully tomorrow. It's got a perpetual calendar on the case back.
Ooh.
Okay, I know what it is.
Is it?
Yes,
That's
it's an amazing watch. It really is. I won't say any more.
I've got a fair idea what it is.
So does Google. I'm going to find it.
Yeah, just put calendar on the case back.
Well,
You'll find it in a
can't be
minute.
too many watches with that
Yeah,
word.
I know.
Hopefully, the Oklahoma Mafia won't seize it the way a certain 1016 was seized.
Jeez.
That happens in Oklahoma.
Quick ID guy, we got to set up a heist for the Oklahoma mailman.
I'm in New York at the moment. I can't get across there. I have to, swimming is one thing across the Atlantic, but having to walk across country is a mission.
We're just going to have to get one of our contacts in our MI5, MI6 network to do it for us.
It should be pretty easy, Clive. Your days are numbered, I'm afraid.
Immobilize Clive with one of our secret injections.
Do it during an Archie Begg stream, so I'll be looking forward to it.
That's an idea. Nice.
We'll immobilize him from the neck down so he can still, throw out his
Someone kicks in the door,
one-liners.
aims a pistol at my head. Oh, thank God.
Thank God you're here. Finally. What took you so long?
All right, guys, are we going to call it?
Yeah, I think we're kind of running out of steam.
Time, gentlemen. Yeah, it's been a very nice show. Enjoyable. Pleasure to have you with us, Bill.
Yes, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Bill.
thank you, Bill.
Thank you,
Bill. Great pleasure to have you aboard, man.
Great
You're
to have
welcome
you
every
join us.
time.
Absolutely welcome anytime, Bill.
Yeah, the beginning of the way the shows tend to work is the beginning 30 minutes is us just kind of warming up. Then about an hour of it is watch news in the industry where something goes through movements. We really start talking about any brand, really, from entry level to the highest of high end, and then we start breaking into the real technical specs. Then we have Thomas's section, which is about the Kickstarter and the microbrands, and that's kind of when we wrap up at the very end. So you met us at a point when N Something had just left. And it was a really good talk. We were looking at all sorts of pieces in the beginning.
Oh, he just left. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we got to get you and NS on at the same time. That's
well, yeah. I like I said, we had relatives, and I was doing some stuff, and I was flying late. So.
Yeah, this is a very very inappropriate time for most people.
Sunday.
It all started during the peak of the pandemic when nobody had anything else to do. So now we're just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, please, guys, before you go, give us a thumbs up. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Junior says, if you could give us a thumbs up, that'd be great, everyone.
Yeah.
It's been lovely having you.
And Junior, next week you got to come on.
Okie doke.
Hasta la vista, everybody.
All right, take care, Bill.
Thanks for having me on, Zippo and everyone else.
Pleasure.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it.
Have a great week.
And I think we've forgotten the most important feature of the week, which we should start naming. Thomas's new watch of the week.
Well, actually, I was going to ask Blue Shirt, how is the Bluesy doing? We need an update on the Bluesy after a week, don't we?
Okay.
Yeah, well, we need a weekly update.
Yeah.
Where's the love bite? I need to know that there's a love bite on that cloth.
There is not. It is still virginal.
How's the Bluesy gone this week then, Blue Shirt? Has it gone
been
okay?
amazing. It's been amazing. I've run chores with it and done all kinds of stuff, and it like I said, it really hasn't come off my wrist. So
brilliant.
Except when you're in the shower and except when you're in bed. Got it.
Correct.
I've written this all down. Don't worry. I'm waiting in the bushes.
I've got a team on standby. How'd they go?
Good. We're gonna sync up. I'm in that bush, corner of 5th.
I'll give you guys a full.
I've got his address ID, guys. All right.
Good.
I'll give you guys a full update next week. I'll come in, start on my phone, and I'll give you the rundown of the watch again and a close.
We want a video produced for next week. blue shirt. A day in the life of a bluesy.
Hey, good call.
Not where you film the day in the life of the bluesy in New York City.
Sunglasses, the whole deal. Sunglasses, signet rings, everything. We want
You notice
You
that
got it.
everyone got the
Big
bluesy
style.
after Archie got rid of his.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what makes it better.
Funny how it works that way.
Clive will be able to answer this very clearly.
No, that's exactly how it works. It's like, oh, it's become cool again. Oh, thank God.
And don't forget, everyone, the ranch has got a Oyster quartz for sale.
Correct.
If you want. So go and check out his channel. He's got a video on there, and he's
down. I'll be redoing it.
yeah, he'll be redoing the video, but check out the next video. He'll be doing redoing one, and he's got the lovely Oyster quartz for sale. It's beautiful looking watch in the photo there on screen. And
Does the video include the price?
The description does.
It was in the description, but I think I'm asking $3,500 plus shipping. I think that's a reasonable price for it. It's a
Very fair.
Oh, that's a very reasonable price indeed.
Yeah,
Gonna have James's people are going to be at your door, I think, this evening, Clive.
It's not worth arranging a heist for $3,500.
No, we're not saying heist. We're saying maybe transaction, maybe some civility for a change. We heist too many people.
We don't need to go to his door. We can just use USP or FedEx for that one.
That's true.
And really,
Roman mafia.
Yeah, the mafia.
That's really like used wholesale now, which blows my mind.
That's great value for money, Clive. Considering the collectability of that piece.
Well, and again, to me, the standout about it is the black dial with the gold hands and indices. You don't hardly see those.
Yeah.
it's one of the last ones, isn't it? 1999.
Yep.
What? I don't know it was that new.
Yeah.
It's surprising.
It's not even considered vintage yet.
No, it's not. It's a youth. That's crazy.
It's surprising. It's got a surprising amount of heft to it.
That's amazing.
So it's a 6.6252.
17013.
You were close, James.
Sorry?
You were close. Those numbers are all over the shop. I don't even know the references of those. I don't know how you guys remember that. Really don't.
Well, it helps when you buy the watch because you pay a little bit more attention.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'll completely out of whack.
Show. We can keep bullshitting in the at the end of it here. So thank you everybody for coming on. It's been awesome. Always is.
Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thanks for all the guests that we've had. We really, truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Lots of love, ladies and gents.
Give us a thumbs up if you can, guys.
Stay safe, everybody.
And we'll see you again next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern and whatever time it is
7 p.m. GMT.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Thanks,
Cheers.
everyone. See you next week.
Bye-bye.